All right, now we're gonna check out Flat Earth Dave versus Karen Glober. Karen Glober.
On the YouTube, let's go ahead and get us live on Rockfin as well. Appreciate everybody joining us today. We got an exciting conversation. Joining us is Dearth Dave from deep inside the rabbit hole, and our good friend Jacob. Let's go ahead and get you guys pulled up here. Appreciate you coming on. Welcome to the show.
Awesome. This is going to be fun. Let me just start. So, Jake, correct me if I'm wrong on any of this, because I get a ton of messages from a ton of people. Jake emailed me very upset that I have caused major strife in his extended family, especially with him and his brother who is a flat earther. I believe his brother has his own family. It's not like we're just talking about some young people here. These are two adult men. And they don't talk to each other anymore, I don't think, because of Flat Earth, and I've ruined his life. So I've been trying to talk to Jake back and forth on email, and it hasn't been going very well. Pretty much a dumpster fire, as Skylar would term it. And Jake agreed to come on and set us straight. So Jake, before you can correct anything I said that's wrong, if it is, I just want to ask you a couple quick questions. Do you believe it's possible for men to lie? Pretty easy.
Oh,
question.
yes.
Okay. Do you believe
Absolutely.
it's possible that men that write history books could lie?
Of course.
Okay. The last question is, if you were shown evidence that the Earth is not a globe, would you have the ability to change your mind?
Of course.
Okay.
I do. Absolutely.
All right. So
Yeah, right.
how do you want to start? Where did we go wrong? What's your best proof of the globe? And the way we go, like, you're gonna give us whatever you want to give us, and then allow us to respond. We will try not to interrupt you and try not to interrupt us too much.
Sounds like a plan. So I want to start with a few questions, but that's okay. And to retort towards you, I got to know, like, I've been watching your videos, and I just got to know, do you have a background in like in photography or how cameras work at all? Like any professional training whatsoever?
Well, when you say professional training, I have experience. I have user experience. I'm not. I wouldn't call myself an expert. No, not in any way. But I talk to many experts, and we have a guy named Jay Tolan Media who is an expert, and he's done amazing footage with infrared, and has seen things that would be impossible on a ball.
Right. So you do have more than the average person coming out, more than just user knowledge. You do have experience on how light would work in a camera lens and all that jazz. More than the average person, since you do have expert, people helping you. Correct?
Yeah, and I think where you're going with this is the images of stars and planets when they're slightly out of focus. We see cymatic patterns, and there's ways to sort of replicate that, but not really by taking a camera out of focus and zooming in on a light or something like that. But yes, I'm with you.
You're really good at putting words in my mouth. That wasn't where I was going at all.
Okay.
I think you're gonna be a lot simpler than that, though. Even though just the one video you showed me directly, because we were being condescending when we were talking, and I showed you a picture of while I was walking home from work of the sunrise, and I'm just like, how can you possibly believe the Earth is flat? You can't have a sunrise without Earth that turns. And just like you said, it was a dumpster fire from there. You don't want to listen. I know you're full of it, and so it was just a bunch of angry emails back and forth. But the one that you showed me, the whole setup, it is to show the proof of, how do you have a sunrise on a flat Earth? Well, you say, the camera's right above the table. It's not. You have a partial bit of the lens at the table, and if anybody has doubt of how that works, take a mirror, put a piece of paper in front of a mirror, and put your finger in front of it, right? You should be able to see your finger with the same philosophy that you have, saying with that, how a flat or how sunrise works on a flat Earth like that. But then how you see your finger behind the mirror if it's behind the paper, if you're using that train of thought, you know that, and you know how the light comes around with the camera. And again, you did even simpler one where you're zooming in to something downrange on a picnic table, I think it was. And when you have the camera focused in close, excuse me, I thought you were going to interrupt.
Yeah, no problem.
The camera zoomed in close, you can't see it. Then you zoom in, and all of a sudden you see it. That's exactly how cameras work. And I believe you use your knowledge to, manipulate the situation. My whole thing is, I know you don't believe the world is flat. I know you don't. You are just doing this for money. And yeah, at 100%.
How dare you?
Did you buy my app yet? Please buy and subscribe.
Exactly. So that's why I'm getting there's no point of showing you evidence. Any man that has been shown and explained to you exactly what you've been shown, even the most remedial child could accept the evidence.
Yeah, no, that's all right. Skylar, go ahead. You want to throw in a comment there, but I want to ask you a question about sunsets, and we don't have to use the bottle cap on the table, which is just showing how Mirage works. There's reasons that the sunsets, and it's very, very simply explained. But Skylar,
Yeah, I mean, put very simply, we're ignoring a whole lot of stuff like angular size, field of view, Riley's principle. You've actually not answered anything really with any specificity. You've simply accused Dave of LARPing, essentially, or grifting, which, don't get me wrong, I know he's got an app to sell, but at the same time, isn't it possible to believe in what it is that you're selling, right? I mean, certainly you're not going to call the people selling things like water filters or solar panels simply grifting because they're, selling something, right? Things have value. So with that being said, we started off this question with like a proof, right, that we know,
Bam.
know that the Earth is a globe and that Dave is definitely lying and doesn't believe in it.
It's obvious if anybody has any common sense whatsoever.
You see, this is the funny thing. The population, we can see all of us as, prisoners. Everybody that is not a part of the elite, we're the same. We're the prisoners, This guy believes the elite more than his own fellow prison mate, which is Dave, This guy believes more in the people that wants to enslave us. That's the derangedness of this all, of it all. Like, he automatically thinks Dave is a scammer, but thinks the elites are the truthful ones, That's either a complete moron or complete brainwashed idiot, or I don't know what.
Honestly, how do I believe that? Because I know that. What did you do before Flat Earth? What was your profession?
So
what does that have to do with Flat Earth?
Can we try to be direct to the point and not try to obfuscate away and try to answer a question with another question like you did the first time Dave asked you something?
What did he ask me?
Well, let's just get back to the point. You were saying that sunsets, you can't have a sunset, and then you went to my video that you don't like. That's fine. There's other proofs of the sunset. So you don't understand how the sun could disappear at our eye level. You think it's going behind a globe Earth, right?
I don't think I know. You're hilarious.
How do you know?
Hilarious. I know. I do know.
So explain this. Explain this. This is a time lapse.
I watched all your videos. You do the exact.
All right. So what's going on here? What's going on here?
You're showing me a picture of the sun.
I'm showing you a video of the sun moving away, getting smaller, and not going down.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And if it was what they are telling us that it is, parallel rays, it wouldn't look like that, motherfucker. Okay? Because that looks like the source is going away. That doesn't look like parallel rays disappearing. Big ass parallel rays, which we don't even see. That looks like a local motherfucking sun traveling away. Yes. Doesn't look like parallel rays that are traveling away. It looks like the source is traveling away, you moron.
Seen this shit a million times. I've seen this stuff a million times. Pardon me. And sorry, I'm having a beer. I got off work. I'm trying to get down to your level. Bear with me.
Ah, shut up, bitch.
I would just like one specific refutation.
I work overnight.
Instead of just something like, because anybody could just say, oh yeah, that's just fake and hand wave away, right? Anybody could do that. Is there like a specific rebuttal that you have?
Like you do with all the evidence presented to you?
Now, we could get into specifics if you want, but you haven't brought anything yet.
You keep interrupting and then going on your own tangents, so you try to control the narrative of the entire situation to make me look stupid like you do with everybody else. Yeah, nice eyebrow. I know exactly what you're doing. It's all tactical shit. Like, it's so obvious. Like, I'm not falling for it. Say what you want, and we'll you up 90 minutes. I know I'm not going to convince you of anything. There's nothing. You've been told, both of you, all of
Yeah, I agree with that. You're not going to convince Dave, and Dave is probably not going to convince you. But that's not the point. You know what the point is? It's to convince the audience. Forget about you two. That's not important. You're going to stick to your ball because you're a sheep. Okay? Flat Earth's going to stick to Flat Earth. Flat Earth Dave will stick to Flat Earth because he knows it's the truth. So nothing will change regarding that. This is to show the people watching. That's really what matters. I don't give a fuck about you. You're a sheep. Continue drinking your beer like a knucklehead.
And one thing I do want to bring up as well, I'm having a hard time even biting my tongue right now and not swearing at you. I
You're allowed to
watched
swear,
you
by
this
the way.
morning,
Feel free.
the beginning. I
Wait,
don't want to. I don't.
All right,
want to.
good.
Thank
Don't.
you.
Oh, you don't want to. You're too nice to do that.
Fine.
If I lose my tongue, I apologize ahead of time. There's no reason not to be cordial. I am angry. Like what you're doing with your next little video, I forget all the names of them, but the one where you were bringing up stuff about the Challenger astronauts still being alive, that's absolutely insulting on so many levels. That's straight grift. You are just bringing up BS that is absolutely absurd.
Oh, really? Then who are those people that are alive that look identical to those who supposedly died during that rocket launch? Who are they? Who are they?
And you gotcha and wow people. It's asinine. It's absolutely asinine. So if you're so true on this, instead of harassing these poor people in their elderly age, why don't you just use some of the newfangled AI to do a facial scan and you can confirm it was them or not? You can totally do that. Why don't you do something like that instead of harassing them?
You want to talk about the flat Earth? You want to talk about somebody else's movie?
Same thing. It's your flat Earth movie. It's your movie. You're the one that brought it up. You're the one that talks about it in the movie. You are the reference point in that movie.
But again, that's a whole nother thing. You want to get into that? That's a 2-hour show by itself. I want to talk about the Earth, whether it's a globe, your proof of the globe, and our proof of the flat Earth. I want to compare those things. Now, you brought up sunsets. You don't understand how the sunset can go down. If I could show you something that you cannot deny on how the sun appears to go below your horizon, are you willing to accept that as, oh, that's maybe what we're seeing? Can I show you a 1-minute video? Have you seen my Flat Earth Kitchen? You've already seen it, right?
That's the one I was talking about in the beginning, yes.
Yeah, so where is it wrong? Where is this video wrong?
Where you have the camera itself.
The camera itself.
Doing.
What am I doing?
Idiot. Is he talking about when the camera is showing from behind and lower? Is that what he's talking about? How is that wrong? That is just showing how it is when we are on the Earth watching the sun, which is way higher. We are now the camera that he's demonstrating.
The camera is slightly, part of the lens is slightly below the table.
Nope, you haven't seen this video. You haven't seen this video. So let me explain.
You sent this to me.
Look, but you're saying the camera's below the table and the camera's actually sitting on the table. Okay? So you're wrong. All right. So here's the sun going across a straight line viewed from the height of the sun. Now we're going to look at the camera that's on the table on the other end. All right. The camera's sitting on the table, and look at this is the sun appearing to go down.
Is it on the table? Because in the last video, it was on a tripod right beside.
It actually, you're right. It's on a tripod, but I proved that it's above the table. Oh, hold on. No, you're right. You're right. I forgot. Hold on. I'm talking now. It's my turn. Stop talking. Okay. But in the full video, I take a bottle cap, and you can see the bottle cap the whole way from the front of the table to the back of the table. It doesn't disappear like the other one.
What does it matter if it's on a tripod or not, or even if it's lower? Who gives a fuck? It's demonstrating that's how the perspective, becomes.
Clearly showing that the camera is above the table. It's about a half an inch above the table. Okay. But even if I put the camera on the table, you're still going to see this, right? This line here, which is way above the camera, looks to be, hold on, I'm finishing. No, hold on. And then here is an actual sunset. The sun went down and it's going behind something. What's it going behind, or is it going beyond?
If I may also,
so the only thing you've proven,
Jacob.
to me is you're dumber than a 7-year-old.
1 second, Jacob.
Go
On
ahead.
top of that, just
Go
to
ahead.
add in.
Is he dumber than a 7-year-old? You lost the argument when you have to go to things like that. You lost it. This is fantastic. This is just the beginning, but this is so good, man. It is displaying the globe-tardness, for everybody to view.
And what you're saying, Dave, I've actually done a similar type of experiment on my kitchen counter with a Burger King cup. We all know the Burger King cups have a red line on the bottom of them, and I show that simply by sliding the cup back with the camera clearly above the table, we can make the red line on the BK cup disappear, right? Bottom up, just as we would see on the due to supposed curvature. Surely we're not going to say that my countertop is a sphere, right?
Are you asking me? No.
Obviously. So what we're doing is we're showing you examples of bottom-up obstruction. It's obviously not exclusive proof of a globe. What else do you have?
So again, where I want to go back is I don't need to speak about what the globe is or whatever, because that's not what my whole point wanting to come on here is. No matter what we talk about, you're going to construe it. What I want to get at is, what about you guys? Why are you doing this?
White flag.
You know what I mean?
So we
Your
can't
flag.
even we can't even get to the why because we're not addressing the what. If the what can't even be addressed,
No.
then why would we address the why?
I thought I was the guest here, and you've been over this stuff 1,000 times. You've been debunked by so many people, much smarter than any of us.
Well, you're
There's
projecting.
no
Right? You're
point
saying.
in
You're
doing
saying.
this
Hold on,
again.
Jacob. Real quick. I'm sorry to interrupt, but you accused us of interrupting you and trying to control the narrative when that is literally exactly what you were trying to do right now on our show.
I'm on your level, right?
Not even close.
Level.
I know, because I wouldn't grip like you assholes do.
You probably shouldn't have drank before.
Ooh, assholes.
So,
Hey, didn't you say that you're not gonna curse and shit? Say bad words? That didn't take too long, did it?
so,
I'm,
so Jake,
I see right through him. He's an evil son of a bitch. You are too.
You mean you are the evil one. You are seeing yourself in the mirror.
You really are. I don't know how you.
Hey.
I bet you're not even religious, are you? I really, because if you were actually religious, you wouldn't. How do you put it? Forsake what God has created for you, which you are. You're full of how do you say blasphemy?
I'm actually
You
arguing
think
for
so?
I'm arguing for the biblical.
Butthurt
theology, man.
Karen.
We can get into specifics if you'd like to actually address the points, or we can just talk about why you think we're LARPing.
Money.
Oh, I make
Ah.
so
You think
much
people
money.
fall?
I make so much money
Yeah.
doing this. Let me tell you. People have actually
Better
lost
than,
their.
probably a
people
lot
have-
better than what you were doing before.
Yeah, actually, no. I used to sell water softeners for like $8,000 a pop and make like $2 to $3 grand each on that. So I could be doing that, but I didn't want to rip people off doing that. Instead, I'd rather get people more affordable stuff and then actually spread something that I believe in, which makes me almost no money, right? I actually lost a position with a really good company because I was doing this. I'm not the only one. So you can say it's for money, right? But you would just be making a baseless accusation.
So would you be willing to bring on your tax returns here, and bottom line, what you make a year
Oh,
after
man.
that? Then
what, do you think he makes money off of? How's he make money off of Flat Earth? He basically goes out, puts out live streams, barely gets any donations at all. Our channels are demonetized,
Pathetic.
so there's nothing whatsoever. It's not, our time comes out to maybe $2 an hour if we're lucky. Okay, me, yeah, I'm the app makes money, but the money goes right back into the app. It's a tool for people to use to wake up dumb people. It's very,
Like him.
it's a tool. So let's get back on, instead of us LARPing and your beliefs, let's talk about a globe belief versus a flat Earth belief. If you live on a globe, is there curvature? Question.
what are you talking about?
I'm talking to you, Jake. Is there
Is there
curvature
cur-
on a globe? You're breaking up a
People
little
are
bit.
asking me that. You know
I'm
the answer
asking
to that
you
question.
the answer is yes. I just want to make sure that you.
Yes.
Okay. So
Oh,
Jake, do you believe that things that way in the distance could be below the curvature so you can't see them?
do you?
Yes. Well, not if there's a globe, it has to be. I just want to make sure.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. There
Okay.
you go.
So here's a view of a whole bunch of mountaintops 700 miles away. Now, with your globe math, the very, very tops of these mountains should be over 40 miles below the curvature, but we can see all of them. We can see all of them in the right positions, in their right shapes. All of them are here. And they should be over
That sounds-
40 miles
You're
below.
well, just because you don't know how to do the math properly doesn't mean anything.
Okay, so our math is wrong. Have you checked our math? Do you know what the curvature formula is? Do you know it?
Yes.
You do. What is it?
Let me ask you
No,
another
no, no,
I
no,
don't
no, no.
think
We're
he
on one
does.
topic, and then it's your
No.
turn. You can change it. But I'm showing you something that's
I'm
impossible.
not playing your games. I'm not like anybody else.
Oh, wait. Let me just make sure, and then we can move on.
You've
My
already done
game.
this.
Hold on. Jake, you got to just let me finish, and we'll let you talk as much as you want. Okay, drink
No,
your
you
beer.
don't. You keep
I am
no, no.
going to, but you're just
No,
making
you're-
me argue with you.
no, no,
Stop
I'm not-
interrupting. Let me finish my point. I would have been done over a minute ago
No,
if you
I'm
just
about
shut
to
the
be
fuck
done.
up. Jake,
I'm about to be done
just
right
listen.
now. I'm going to end it right here and right now. I'm going to leave. Okay. I'm not playing these games. You've
What
seen a
game?
dozen of your shows. I've watched. Exactly.
He's gonna
So-
leave? He's gonna leave? What are we, 10 minutes in? He's gonna leave? That's pathetic. That's because he noticed he ain't got shit, man. He's gonna lose this shit. That's why he's leaving. You know that, right? Listen, if you sat on the truth, no way would you be leaving. You would be, listen, I'm gonna get you. Yeah, I'm gonna take you down, motherfucker. Because I sit on the truth. You won't be leaving if you sit on the truth, right? Why would you? You will be the victor in this, right? You wouldn't be leaving. Retreat. I lost. Retreat.
I'm not going to let you gaslight me either. That's all you do is gaslight and lie. You're a piece of shit. For what
Projection.
you do, for what you lie.
Ooh.
That's projection.
Exactly.
Literally gaslighting us right now.
Good. I'm again on your level.
Admission
So
of
you know
guilt.
what it feels like what you do to people all the time. Yep,
Look up
I can admit that. I can admit when I'm
Pathetic.
being a piece of shit. Can you?
Look up what
You
projection
lie to
Pathetic.
people.
You just think we're being a piece of shit because you have a shitty lens. Do some self work, brother.
Oh my God, you people are insufferable. You're absolutely insufferable.
Do you have a globe, before you go, do you have a globe proof? Am I allowed to ask that, or is that gaslighting? Am I gaslighting you by asking you for globe proof?
How about 2,000 years of scientists again smarter than any of us?
Well, can you name one of those scientists?
How come none of you guys have ever done the easiest experiments ever that they did back in ancient Greece and record that? You can even do it. You can even do it in real time.
We've done that one.
We've actually done it. Eratosthenes with his sticks and shadows, right?
We've also done.
And what'd you come up with?
Okay, let me show you. And if you allow me to talk, I won't be very long, and then you could rebut. Right? Eratosthenes with his sticks and shadows said, here I am on the globe. The sun's directly above me, above a well, above a stick. The story keeps changing, but either way, it's the same thing. He sends his buddy 5,000 miles away who counted his steps, and that's how they measured. Somehow they were able to communicate with each other. Maybe they had a string and a couple of cans. And
yeah, I always thought that was weird. How the fuck did they time, those two different locations? Okay, all right, I'm ready. How does your shadow look like? Do they send a pigeon? And how long does it take for that pigeon to get to the other guy? For him to confirm. Okay, but my shadow looks like this. Send it back to the pigeon? Come on, man. They're laughing at us. The elites are laughing at you for buying this crap.
His buddy put up a stick at the exact same time, and they could measure the shadow. They did some math and calculated it, and it came to be the shape of the Earth. And they say, well, this proves that the Earth is a globe. But you have to assume that the rays are coming in parallel. Back then, did you know that Eratosthenes believed that the Earth was geocentric with a distant sun? So how do you have a giant distant sun orbiting a little tiny speck Earth? So that's the problem. But here on a flat Earth with a small local, hold on, I'm almost done. Yes. Okay, here on a flat Earth with a small local sun, here's Eratosthenes, here's his buddy, maybe a time zone or two away, and his shadow is the same, and you can do the math and figure out the sphericity of this flat plane. This is something that you can actually do yourself, right? Just in your home alone, just get two of your beer bottles, put a light over one of them, and then look, this one has a shadow, this one doesn't. That means your floor is spherical in your world. Okay, and the other thing is Eratosthenes did this 2,000 years ago. How come he didn't show up? That experiment didn't show up into any books until the 1900s. It wasn't mentioned for 2,000 years, but in the 1900s, it was inserted into Rockefeller textbooks. Do you think that people could lie to you about shit in the past? Okay.
It wasn't books.
And
Did you ever hear the burning of the Library of Alexandria?
I know. I've heard about a lot of burnings. Did you know that every city burned down? Right. And let me ask a question. Have you ever seen parallel rays? What would make Eratosthenes think that these rays are parallel?
What do you think? What is the purpose for the lies then? Explain that to me. If you can convince me the actual purpose behind it, that's where I would have to be. What's the end goal of the lie?
Well, to ultimately pull off this bullshit climate shit. That's why. We need to save this little ball. That's all we got. This little ball. That's all we got. So I want you to agree on your own enslavement. Let us electronically track you and tell you what you can buy and what you cannot buy, because the environment, the environment. So please let us enslave you. We have to, because the environment.
I'm gonna let Skylar answer this one, but if you have my app to pay the $3, you can go to the frequently asked questions page and hit the why the lie. Wanted to send me $3 and not get the app? That would be really nice.
Dude, that's your beer can that you just drank. You can't even spend that on his app?
Exactly what you want from everybody.
Go ahead, Skylar.
Awesome.
I'm just making a little joke, trying to lighten it up, Jake.
Right.
Okay.
There's no reason to. I mean, obviously we disagree, but there's no reason to be so hostile. I mean, obviously, if you think we're lying, you could feel some type of way.
I have plenty of reason to be hostile.
There is,
you treat people awful.
There is obviously reason to believe, if you actually look at the evidence, that we are genuine in our belief, but you could just disagree, right? There's different ways of looking at data sets. But as far as why the lie, we are in speculation station. There's no way to empirically prove the reason for the lie, right? Because it could be multiple things. One of the reasons would be physics. The physics that we know and work off of is different. We've changed them in the 1900s off of the Michelson-Morley introduced general relativity, special relativity, and things that make us have to make up dark matter, which makes up 96% of our observable universe for the mass, because the equations aren't working out. So instead of chucking the theory and starting from scratch, we would rather just insert more mathematical, another mathematical line, another equation on top of the existing ones to try to make it work. When in reality, they actually made a choice with the Michelson-Morley experiment to get rid of something that we all knew as the way that light and magnetism propagated and sustained their energy, which was the aether. So we got rid of that. We changed all of physics. And on top of that, there is probably spiritual significance to knowing that you're at the center versus thinking that you're, I said probably, right? The speculation station, you have to give me that at least, right? And then there's also the possibility that they're hiding more real estate, that there's land more than what they have let on, and that they keep everybody.
Who's they?
Oh, hold on.
Who
They-
is
they
they?
keep
Who's
every-
they? There is no elite who meet in the World Economic Forum like one Klaus Schwab who says, with the COVID-19 crisis is a good time, good opportunity to make us the great reset. Humanity will not go back to normal. We have to realize a new normal where everything is tracked and you will own nothing and you will be happy. By the 2030, we hope this get done. There are no those types of people, right? You fucking dummy. Fucking dumb sheep. Drink your beer, man. Drink your beer.
Oh, wait, hold on. Let's. Why did you laugh at more land? Do you think there could be hidden land?
No.
No.
Did you know that Japan
No! No!
found 7,000 new islands? You know that Japan just found
Did you know that
7,000
we
new
have less
islands?
than 2%? You know that we've done less than 2% of the Earth's oceans?
True.
What the hell
Okay,
does that even mean?
excellent.
Great.
So what if there's more continents out there?
Out where? We've seen the whole world.
We're beyond 60 degrees south. We have?
That's
Have
the
you?
assumption, isn't it? That's the
Oh,
assumption.
God.
That is the assumption, right? And if you think about it, when you put wild animals in a pen, the first thing that they do every time, right, is go to explore the edges of that pen, poke and prod, try to find ways out. If you didn't know there was a pen, would you try to get out?
So let me get this straight. So the powers that be want to keep us pinned in, but back in the days like Galileo, the powers that be knew the world was flat and wanted to kill him for it. And all those that didn't say everybody that said the world was round and figured it out, they were going to be put to death. The powers that be. But now that the powers that be say it's a globe, you're the new Galileo.
Were you
right?
there?
even-
Were you
even-
there?
I'll
Were you
also-
there? Good.
I would also just add,
For
I mean,
you.
even in their cosmology, the church cosmology of the flat Earth was enclosed and limited. So everybody was spouting this idea that the Earth was an enclosed system that you couldn't leave. They just changed the way of it because they actually had people, supposedly, according to stories like the Iron Republic, people actually going and finding things like the Summer Gate when it's summer in Antarctica. The ice melts a little bit and opens up passageways, apparently. So again, speculation station. But when you're under tyranny, naturally what people used to do was just leave. But now they don't have the ability to do that because the whole world's been discovered. It's all been explored. Nothing to see here. Have you ever seen?
And you're
the
not
Truman
allowed to
Show?
go beyond 60 degrees south. Okay. What if the monks were right that have this map 10 centuries old showing 30 some odd other continents out there?
That's based off of a fictional story. you idiots.
Is it? Is it?
Yes.
and-
Yes.
Says the guy who literally believes in computer graphics. Literally watching PS2 graphics and like, oh, that's Mars. Oh, that's Uranus. Your anus, man. It's your anus.
We can easily say that about your historical
Oh my
references.
Oh
You-
my God.
Galileo
Oh my
is a
God.
fictional story.
Of course he is, because that's what
Prove
you
it wrong.
That's your,
Prove me
that's
wrong.
your all's
Prove
that's
me
your all's
wrong.
problem.
Here's the thing. We don't need to go back in history. We don't need to go beyond 60 degrees south. We don't need to go above 72 miles high. One, because we're not allowed to do any of these things. But we can prove it right here. There is
Yes,
no
you
curvature.
are.
I showed you. Hold on. I'm just going to
booked
make the
a
short
trip.
statement, and then you
I
can,
booked
then
a
you can
trip
interrupt
online
me.
just for fun.
You booked the trip online where?
Oh my God. Google. You can Google. You can figure it out. You can literally.
No,
take
where
a
did you
plane
book a trip
go-
that proves the Earth is a globe? That's what I'm asking.
You can take a trip anywhere in the world too.
Provide-
Yeah,
You're breathing your 60th
It's a
degree.
super free world. Go wherever you like. Nobody will stop you. There will be no military ships telling you with their fucking speaker thing, turn around. You're not allowed to be here. No, that's not gonna happen. It's just roam around freely. It's a free world.
That's what you think because you think it's like a giant ice
So-
wall, whatever crazy shit, right?
So Jake, no, I don't think there's a giant ice wall. I think there's a shoreline.
Or better yet, get yourself a airplane and just roam around, fly wherever you like. There will be no military planes threatening you. Like, where the fuck are you going? You better go back and land, or we will shoot your ass out. You know what I mean? No, that's not going on. You can just roam around wherever you like. Fucking idiot.
Okay, the shoreline of Antarctica. Wait, Jake, do you know that large bodies? Hold on. Can I ask a question, or you just want to go? I don't want you to leave, but I'd like to ask a question. Let me know when it's my turn. Is it my turn? Okay. So large bodies of water at rest need containment. That's provable. A pond needs a shoreline that surrounds the pond that's higher than the water, because if the shoreline wasn't there, the water would go away. A lake is a bigger pond. The world's oceans are a bigger lake. The shoreline of our world is Antarctica, what we call Antarctica. It surrounds our world. Captain Cook tried to sail around Antarctica 13,000 miles. Took him 3.5 years. He went over 60,000 miles. 60,000, where the equator is only supposed to be 25,000 miles. He went over 60, I think it was 68,000 miles. Well, that sounds like he's going all the way around here. So back to your question, you booked the trip. From where to where? No, well, there's his logs or anything. And yeah, no, we have his logs. And there's, look at the history of that. But here's the thing. No one is allowed to do that. We can look, there's no cruises around Antarctica. There's no cruises that are impossible on a flat Earth. There's only cruises that are possible. Only cruises that are possible on a flat Earth that are impossible on a globe. Or I'm mixing that up, but you know what I'm saying. Here's my question back to you. You booked the flight.
I don't know.
All right, so let me get back to your point. Let me get back to your point.
There's so much BS, even you forget.
Hold on. You booked the flight to prove the Earth is flat. So here we have Australia.
I said I booked the trip. There's flights, boats. There's all.
Okay, you booked the trip. So here's the question, right? You got Australia here, just to give you orientation. You got Africa, South America, right? You got everything. So where could you not go on here from one point to another? I could book a flight, a plane, a walk, a car ride, a boat trip. From where? I can book it from anywhere. Okay. And
exactly. That's the whole point.
The truth is, actual routes prove the Earth is flat. Okay. When you look at a flight route from Santiago to Australia, it should just go across the bottom of the ball, but it doesn't. It goes all the way across here. It's a much longer flight. Where? So you said you booked the trip, or you booked the trip. Where did you book the trip from? That's impossible on here.
And provide the receipts, please.
I don't even need the receipts. I don't even need the receipts. It doesn't matter. What imaginary trip can you book that you can't do here?
What are you asking? Like I said,
you said you booked the trip like it was proof.
Yes, you can do that anytime. You can go to the middle of Antarctica anytime you want. There's no guards.
No, you can't.
No stop. Yes, you can. Absolutely can. And there's literally people out there that will do it for free for you guys. That literally they take you up, say anytime you want to go, we'll fly you there free of charge, and you won't take them up on it.
Yeah. Is that why there is no debate being held by these top scientists regarding this? Why can't they do that? Shut this whole thing down today, right? Tell one of these scientists, the top ones, to book a debate with Flat Earth Dave or somebody and end it today. This whole thing would die off today. It's gone. Bye. It ain't happening because they're not sitting on the truth. That's why. When you sit on the truth, you would not shy away from a debate like that. You know what I mean? You would encourage it. You would be like, yeah, let's do it because you're sitting on the truth. But those who run from it, that's an indication they're not sitting on the truth. Period.
Very true.
Not true.
How about SpaceX? How about since you're going to have so much money soon after doing all this scripting, you'll be able to afford a SpaceX flight yourself in the next few years.
So let me now I'm going to ask you you're going to first when I show you this, you're going to roll your eyes, say you saw it already, but tell me if you think this is real. Is this real? Is this a real rocket that's going to go to Mars? Is this a real test flight? Is this a real-time, unedited video? Okay.
I don't know what you're showing me.
All right, so just watch it. Give me 1 second to explain what's going on. So we're watching this thing go up. There's no smoke anymore. There's just smoke on the ground. It's going very slow. Okay, because it weighs many tons. Now we're looking at it, and the engines are going to turn off. Oh, it's pretty high right now. This is the onboard camera. Now look at the smoke. How fast is this thing going? If you just use your common sense. Now, we're very high again. Hold on. Let's go to the camera view. Now the engines are off, and it's free falling. Now free falling. Look at this smoke. Look how fast the smoke is moving. Is it free falling? Right? Right? And now watch it, the next edit. Look how the smoke's even going slower. This is like 10 tons free falling. And how is it free fall? How did it get this high all of a sudden? Okay. So this is clearly fake, but now it's free falling. Now watch, 3 engines are going to turn on. It's magically going to turn upright. Oh, it's pretty high again. Right. But we have a ground camera that can film it from the side. Right. Now it's going to go on. The cameraman's going to do a magical stunt. He's going to get right underneath it. Okay. 3 engines go on. Cameraman goes underneath. 2 of the engines burn out. Okay, they can't even get that right.
That shit is straight up CGI. Like from PS3 or something. How it turned right there. Elon Musk said, what did he say? You can see it looks real because it looks so fake, or something like that. Yeah. You can see it looks so real because it looks so fake. Or some shit like that.
It's somehow magically balancing with one engine, let alone that, I don't know how we do with three. And then it's going to land, click the CGI smoke.
That shit was straight up CGI smoke. It didn't look natural. The smoke didn't look natural.
With one engine, let alone that, I don't know how we do with three. And then it's going to land, click the CGI smoke. Ready? CGI smoke. There it is. And it goes up right. Now, did I show you,
Fake.
and it looks pretty phallic too. Did I show you a real
Fake
SpaceX
shit.
video, or did I show you a B-rated movie that everybody would want their money back for?
I think you continually show me that you don't know how any of this stuff works.
I'm asking you, do you think that was a real rocket launch?
I'll be completely honest. On my phone, I can't really tell. It all looks crappy. It's all pixelated from what I'm staring at the moment.
All right, well, that's...
If that was a real SpaceX, I'd buy it though. If that was a real SpaceX flight, yeah, it looked real enough. But I can't see it in enough detail to tell you whether it was CGI or not.
Skylar.
This is absolutely hilarious. It looks. I'm gonna put my money on B-rated movie.
I wouldn't even give a B-rated movie. There's no way a B-rated movie would put that crap in their movie. That would ruin a B-rated movie. So you're just a believer in liars. I mean, have you ever looked at any of the glitches that happen at the International Space Station?
Yes, you flat earthers have done that. Yes, I know.
Yeah, what's wrong? What's wrong with them?
You guys literally live. You guys play the character so well. It's amazing. I'll give you credit for that. I really do. I give you credit for it.
I just wish that there was something like that would challenge my belief a little bit in this.
You see?
It's like
Yeah.
His judgmental senses, or whatever you would call them, his sensors are so bad, man. He thinks they're playing characters. He thinks they're acting. But he thinks those people at NASA and those motherfuckers, they are real. Dumbass motherfucker right here. This is a dumbass motherfucker right here.
I could pick you up by your bootstraps and fly you there like Superman and let you stare at it from space, and you'd still be like, nope, you're hacking my eyes.
All right,
That's
so
your point.
since you can't do that, can you give us something that proves the Earth is a globe? Anything?
What would prove a reasonable person then? How about that?
Yeah.
Google.
Google. What about Google? Google Earth?
Anything. That's the whole point. You're just you guys
It's so
have
frustrating.
what you know. You just know, and your faith tells you. You just know.
So
And
let me-
instead of actually doing the experiments, you look for evidence
Yeah.
to fit your narrative, and not
So-
the other way around.
So the two places on Earth that would prove it's not a globe, and that would be the North Pole and South Pole. They're both off limits. You say they're not, but we have evidence proof that they are. Now, yes, you can take a very expensive trip to go to Antarctica, or you can even go work in Antarctica at one of the bases. But everyone that's gone there says they go through this crazy psychological profile, asking them questions that have nothing to do with their job, their religious beliefs, their spiritual beliefs, all sorts of stuff before they approve them to work there. And everyone that's gone and worked there for a year says there's never any time where the sun stays in the sky for 24 hours. So that's a problem. So going to these places would prove one way or the other. That's where you could find proof of the globe. But no one has found it. And the other thing is they're off limits, virtually and physically. You can't go there physically, but you go virtually. Here's your Google, and we can measure South America, no problem. It gives us the square miles. But what happens when we try to measure Antarctica? Because Antarctica, remember, it's the edge all brought together.
Because you have a glitch. If you actually.
It's not our glitch.
Dude, you're so full of shit. You are so full of shit, bro.
All right,
I can't believe that. Like,
Jake. There's a glitch here. There's also a glitch. There's also a glitch in the North
It's
Pole.
been debunked like 10 times.
How? This has been debunked.
Hilarious.
How do you debunk it?
Hilarious.
How do you
Yes.
debunk, how do you debunk it?
God, Simon, Dan, Professor Dave. He's a prick, Professor Dave. But they've all done
Okay, we
it.
agree on
Like,
something.
It's just,
I'm glad we found. some
yeah,
common
no, he's a
ground.
fucking prick. I'll give you that one. He's a coward. He insulted my wife and everything too via email, and then he wouldn't respond back to me. So fuck him. He's another one. He's so far up his own ass. I'll give you that. No worries. But dudes, like, come on, man. Like, it's
Right,
just
so-
Yeah.
like,
That asshole, Professor Dave, is on your side on this bullshit. Huh? An super asshole, which insulted your wife and shit like that you clearly don't like, is spewing out the same shit you are regarding this.
I'm just showing you Google is no proof of the globe. Google actually proves that they're lying. For example, this is one you may not have seen.
who's they? Again, who's they?
So
Whoever you want.
they
How
are
the fuck, after the 3 years of COVID, have you not realized yet that there is a group of people steering the world? How the fuck? Fuck, man. Stop drinking so much beer, you stupid.
You don't
Stupid.
believe that there's people running the corporation of America? Okay.
Absolutely, there are.
Yeah.
The
So
funny thing is
that's
that
who they are. That's who they are. Do you
really
shop?
think we haven't been this? You really
So,
think
hold
we
on a
haven't
second.
been to space and everything?
Hold on a second.
The
Hold
thing
on.
is, I can't believe that. No. Let me point this out. You
Okay.
think there's so much. So they're so powerful, and they have this.
I don't think they're
conspiracy
powerful.
going.
No,
and
I don't think they are.
Hasn't really. Okay, well, that's what the whole. But they're not powerful at all. But they can pull the wool over everybody's eyes.
Well, they themselves are not powerful, but the systems that they have, laid out throughout the world is powerful. For example, the media that they own is probably the most powerful entity in this whole world, the media, because it literally can control people's minds. It can dictate what people will do. Like, for example, with the toilet paper shortage during 2020. I don't think there was a real one. I just think the media took a picture of an empty shelf, and then they put it on all their platforms, telling you there is a shortage, and that creates an actual, real shortage, because everybody looks at that and thinks, oh, fuck, there's a shortage of toilet paper. I wasn't even planning on getting one, but fuck, let's go get some. And that creates a real one. You see, wizardry. That's wizards. And their tool, their ultimate wizard tool, is the media. Straight up through the air. Magic. It's really like wizards from back in the days doing magic with the media and creating results and outcomes that they like. It's magic. It's a kind of magic.
Well, people that are
People-
unwilling to look at evidence and unwilling to think for themselves. Yeah, you can't pull the wool over their eyes.
99.95% of the population.
I want to respond to your Google. I want to respond to your Google
Of
thing.
course you
and-
do.
I want to respond to your question, and I want your opinion. I want to hear your opinion. I want to hear your opinion. I want to hear your opinion.
Whatever you want. I'm trying to.
No.
give it to you.
I want to hear your opinion, but can I show you something to get your opinion on?
No, I'm tired of looking
No.
at this damn. It's just a whole.
So there's nothing I can show you. There's nothing I can show you. I asked you for glow proof. You said Google. I want to show you something, and I want you to tell me your opinion on it. Just give me your opinion on this. Just do me a favor.
Yeah,
Ready?
fine.
Okay. Now watch. You should be able to see this on your phone. Okay. This is a time lapse
love
of pilot
this one.
from the north, from Germany down to South America. I think to Brazil. And these stars here are just staying on the horizon. Okay. Now, if you're diving over the globe, those stars should all be rising. This is what Google says should be happening. As you dive over the globe, these stars should rise. The ones at your horizon, when you're a quarter way down, should be now over your head. This is what Google says you should see. And this is proof of the globe. The problem is reality doesn't show that. When we actually film it, it shows what a flat earth would show and not what Google's showing. So I don't think
The
Google,
stars are moving down to the right.
they're moving just because of the rotation of the stars. But as you're diving over, they should all be going up. They should all be going up. This is what Google says. This is your proof, but it doesn't match reality. So I don't know if I would use Google as your glow proof anymore.
Look at it again.
Reality versus Google. Okay. These stars are not rising. They're just rotating with the sky rotates above us.
It's important to note
And
that he's staying in line with the Great Rift too. Like that was kind
Yep.
of the point. Here on Google Earth, you're seeing them go in line with the Great Rift, which again showing it coming up over the horizon. Yes, the plane is turning, but it's like turning right with that Great Rift, and you're seeing that it's not rising back up as the plane is going hundreds of miles over the supposed curvature of the Earth. Why would that be?
Why would that be? Sorry. 1 second.
Why would that be? Yes. Why? What could it be? Could it be a plain Earth?
Come here, baby. Yeah, he's busy right now. Go lay down. Go lay down. Go girl. Go girl. Sorry about that. I can't go so. Why would that be? So I'm sorry, I got lost there. Yeah, why
It's
would stars go up
easy.
or whatever? I don't know, man. Like I'm not even.
Dude, if you're traveling around a ball, the things that are above you will go like that because you're going like this. So those things go like that above you. That would be if you're traveling around a bullshit ball, Santa Claus for adults fairy tale, which it ain't.
Sure what you're getting. What you're trying to get at with that one.
If
Could
it
you
was-
please
It's
start
pretty
over?
simple. It's
Yeah,
pretty
I
basic.
got
Go
distracted.
ahead. Skylar, try to explain it better.
Yeah, I'll make it very, very simple. So the stars disappearing over the horizon is supposedly due to curvature of the Earth. If that were true, then as we go back over that curvature of the Earth, the stars that have disappeared over the horizon should come back into view. But that's not what happens, as demonstrated here.
So we have gone and done experiments, real world observations that disprove what Google Earth model says. You know that Google Earth only added the curvature to Google Earth. I think it was like I forget the date. It was like early 2000s or late 90s. I forget. But it was flat until they added curvature.
I mean, but that's admitted, right? Plane surveyors on the local areas, I mean, they don't assume for any curvature. Pretty much
Drink
all
your
the
beer,
local
man. It's gonna
observations,
help
local
you, man.
seismology, it's actually the only accurate things that we have, that they have the lowest margin of errors when we're going very local areas, assuming flat and no motion, right? And there's tons of articles, tons of manuals that show this. And that's why we...
I think weed is way better than alcohol. Straight up, way better. There's a reason why they allow alcohol and cigarettes, because they want you dumb and sick, you know? That's why. Yeah, go drink your beer, you knucklehead. Yeah, take 10 of them. Yeah, it's great. Great for your brain. Do it. Drink every day if you can. That's the elite laughing at the knuckleheads. Drinking their beer like morons.
keep asking, again, if you can assume for a moment that we're genuine in the idea that the Earth is flat and that maybe we're just grossly mistaken and the Earth is indeed a ball, I'm at least looking for that evidence. And that's why I keep asking
What about you?
if there is.
What about your
exclusive-
buddy? What was his name? Bob Kendall?
No
The
doubt.
guy that spent 20 G's on, maybe, yeah, a little better than me probably, but the gentleman that spent 20 G's on a laser, what's it called?
He
You know
spent-
exactly what
So
I'm talking about.
you want the real story? Did he spend 20 G's on it, or did he use a laser that cost 20 G's?
Whatever, he made the video on it. It was his claim, and he did like some experiments with
So
it. No matter what he
hold
did.
on, did Bob make the video, or did Netflix make the video?
Bob, whatever
No.
his video was, his
No.
experiments.
You're referring to a Netflix hit piece that was highly edited that cut out the part where they said, yes, they measured a 15-degree rotation, cut, and that's what they put in the movie. Then they said, we have to determine whether it's the Earth or the sky. So they did a second experiment where they took the same laser, gyro, they brought it up to altitude in Denver, and it measured a different rotation, which 100% beyond question scientifically proves that it is the sky that is spinning and not the Earth.
And as far
Then
as a
show me
mechanism, as far as a mechanism for how that would work too, because I know a lot
Show me that.
of people like to.
Show me that. Show me that then.
Well, here's the problem.
That would help a lot.
Netflix.
There's the problem.
Can I explain
Well,
it?
what the
In a
guy
reasonable-
that did it?
No, so for one, you made an assumption that Bob Nodell did it. He didn't even film it himself, right? There was a film crew that filmed it. That definitely, when you do a Netflix documentary, I'm not sure if you're aware of how the rules work. They don't allow you to keep the original film because you could spoil the movie or spoil whatever it is that they're going to release. So what they
Reveal
do
the lies.
under contract is they hold all the footage. You have no legal right to the footage. And when Bob Nodell and Jaron both went and filed to try to get that information, tried to get that footage, their hands were tied. They couldn't.
And
because
Jake,
had
they
signed-
promised them the footage also. They said, you can have all the footage after we're done.
Yeah,
So
they-
how do you know about the different measurements?
Because we know about it. We know the
Because
people
there
that did it, right? And then the other thing you're going to
So-
bring, that you might bring up is the
so-
laser experiment, which actually proves the Earth is flat, but nobody claimed
I
that.
did want to address also the thing with the ring laser gyroscope
You're
is
moving.
no, I'm staying on the same
Yeah,
point.
okay, go ahead.
I'm staying on the same point of the ring laser gyroscope real quick.
So go ahead.
It's the Sagnac effect, is
Yeah,
the effect behind
yes.
it, and it's an interpretation issue. You are interpreting that to mean that it has to be the Earth rotating, when in fact, if you invoke Mach's principle, we even have a kinematic and dynamic equivalent to the Coriolis effect. So again, it doesn't have to be the Earth rotating. It can literally be the sky rotating according to the top physicists. And you can laugh. It just shows that you're not aware of all the information, and that's fine. We don't have to be aware of every little thing, but it is true, and you'd have to agree that in the indoctrination camps, the public education system, they do spoon-fed a narrative. They do spoon-fed us what they want us to know, right? There's no disagreement there, is there?
The only narrative that's being spoon fed to people right now is the whole transgenderism thing. That because you know what, that actually makes people money. There's a purpose to it.
It's beyond money, man. What is money anyways these days? They're gonna dump all the, real cash, which isn't even backed by gold either. But they're gonna make everything digital. So what do you mean they want money? They are in control of producing money. It's not about money. It's about something else. And these are the same people that is saying the Earth is a bullshit ball.
Hey, we agree on two things. Let's
They're
go
all
for a
connected
trifecta. This
now.
will be fun. So Google Earth and sunsets are your number 1 and 2 proofs. Do you have a third of the globe?
No, it's not even. I'm not.
So you don't. That's all you have?
See, you keep. I'm being completely sarcastic, and you're running with it like I'm really meaning something. Like you really, like you guys can't tell. Like I'm being utterly sarcastic in every way, shape, form, or fashion. Like it's.
Okay. Without being sarcastic, can you give us a unsarcastic globe proof?
Can I give you unsarcastic?
I mean, you're fighting us, saying that we're grifters, making accusations against us, saying flat Earth is stupid.
Yes.
And so that's
Yes.
unless you can come up with a globe proof, you are in a cult, a religious cult called the Globe Cult. Give us one.
Really?
Yes.
One proof we live on a globe. Just one is all it would take. And then I'll pay you 3 Bitcoins. Remember, we were talking about that. 3 Bitcoins, 1 globe proof.
All right. How about, have you guys ever done the, actually I wrote down, I can't pronounce that shit. The Foucault, Leon Foucault, the
Foucault's pendulum.
thing? Or
Yeah.
that one?
The Foucault's
Well, if you
pendulum.
had my app, which you really should get, it's only $3. There's a Foucault pendulum button on there that shows you plenty of videos because we're tired of explaining it. But Skylar, go ahead.
Yeah, Foucault's pendulum. It's the same thing as the ring laser gyroscope. There's a translational motion from the sky, possibly, and there's no scientific way to isolate the cause and effect relationship. In other words, how do you devise an experiment
the sky.
to isolate whether it is the Earth rotating or a translational motion from the sky? Called Mach's principle. It's a real thing. Look it up.
How can
Right, and
the
also
sky-
during you know about what's it called, Skylar, when there's an eclipse, sometimes they start spinning the other direction. When an eclipse happens, Foucault pendulums change direction. That does not fit with a spinning globe. And the other thing is, Foucault pendulum would only work at the North Pole and South Pole if you think about it. But it supposedly works everywhere. And all of them have been shut down because they don't work. They have to keep restarting them. And they have little gyro motors in them, making them swing. And that gyro motor has a bias also. None of them are
Like the
accurate,
The
ever.
longest it will ever do under its own power is maybe 5 hours if you made it big enough. And it is a difference. It's a difference between.
Yeah,
if you had
but
it
they're not
on the
accurate.
Poles, if you had it on the poles, it would be exactly 24 hours. It wouldn't be exactly, but close to 24 hours. Close to the equator you get, the longer it is. It's about 32 hours, I think.
So here's the thing.
Even if the most you can get it to go is 5 hours.
Nobody's done that. If the Earth was a spinning globe, yeah, you might be right, but no one's ever done it. So you're just speculating.
We also have to acknowledge,
Well,
and this is a thing.
What do you
right?
mean nobody's ever done it?
No one's ever put a Foucault's pendulum at the North Pole or South Pole.
Right.
Well, you don't need to. You just have to,
So
Have to what?
realize the declination between the difference of the North Pole and the equator. It's going to be the longest at the equator. It's really basic math.
all that
So
really
would
needs
a
to be
Foucault's
said,
pendulum work on the equator? Go ahead, Skylar.
Yes.
Jacob, all that really needs to be said on it, again, because I like the idea that you're relying on people with a little bit more expertise. That's totally fine. I like to rely on that as well. And Einstein himself admitted that in a letter to Ernest Mach, right, that we cannot use Foucault's pendulum as proof for the sidereal rotation of the Earth. So these are the top minds coming to these conclusions. You're only spoon-fed one idea of what is going on. You're not revealed all this other information, but it is there. You just have to go look for it.
That's the thing. I've been obsessed with flat Earth to my own detriment ever since my brother fell to this shit. I've watched all of it. You have no idea how much the flat. I'm sorry, how much
Your brother is smart, man.
your
And you haven't
science.
absorbed anything yet? I mean,
I've seen it all, and the
So-
more I watch, the less sense it makes. All it shows me, I keep over and over again. The more I see, the more I
Okay.
realize you don't understand what's actually happening.
But can
yes,
we-
Jacob,
if anything, I'm
I
more
want to get an
convinced than
agreement.
ever.
The trifecta, right? I really want to get this agreement. Can we agree that if Einstein did, in fact, say to Ernest Mach, which is another famous physicist, that if he did say that Foucault's pendulum is not proof of Earth's rotation, would you then be able to retract your statement that that is a proof of the globe?
That's too. All three would be a hypothetical, but given all those circumstances, if happened, then of course the answer would be yes.
I
okay,
appreciate
so
that.
let's remove that because it did happen, and you could do the research yourself and find out that all of that is true. So how about a unsarcastic proof that we live on a globe? Forget flat Earth. Flat Earth is crazy. Let's hear a non-crazy, unsarcastic proof we live on a globe.
I already told you, like the only one I would ever need is watching the sunset, and it's obvious.
It's
I
watching
see
the
it.
sunset. And
I-
so
I-
you
said
don't
you see-
understand.
you-
Let me
you
ask
say
you. Let me
no,
ask you a question.
or
Let me ask you a question.
You said you can't see it. I totally see it. Like you say you can't tell. I do. Like it's obvious.
Wait. You've seen the curve. Where?
Yes, of course.
Where did you see the curve? Because it's very elusive.
Is it so elusive?
Where
What's
did
that
you
one
see the
showing
curve?
right
Jake?
behind you? What's that picture you're showing behind us or behind you? I
It's
mean.
127,000 feet. It's a stationary
Yeah.
flat Earth, if you ask me.
Right. It actually looks like it's bowed inward almost.
The boat inward. So, so,
like
so
a
do you
ball. That's
do you believe that on a flat Earth you would on a globe Earth you would see curvature like that? Like you would see curvature?
all right. Sorry, I'll give you one unsarcastic. All right, if we didn't live on a globe, we would all be slanted, like just gravity. I know you don't believe in gravity, but I do. So that would be, we would all be pulled towards the middle. Eventually, even if it was the disk and it was that massive or flat, or whatever you think it is, eventually over billions and billions of years, it would be turned into a ball under its own weight. That's just how gravity works. Everything is pulled towards the center. But you don't believe in gravity, I know. So I'm just saying that's exactly. I do believe in gravity.
Has gravity being a radial force that pulls inward to a center of mass been demonstrated? Or has mass attracting mass been demonstrated with the Cavendish?
Yes.
Can we acknowledge that?
It's so ridiculous. Everything is towards a center like this. Dude, like in video games, when they program 99% of all the 3D games, it's made on a flat plane. And the gravity they do in the game is like a downward force. There is only one type of game, Super Mario Galaxy, where the character is running on a planet, on a ball, you know. For that game, they do it differently because Mario is running around the ball. So it only works for that. For the rest of the games that is depicting our reality, like Call of Duty or some shit like that, or regular 3D games, they all do it on a flat plane and they do the gravity like a downward force, because it wouldn't work if every object in that world would be like connected to a center point. The whole world would be like fucked up.
Mass attracted to mass is not the same as it being a radial force that creates spheres on a massive scale.
What do you mean? Not a radial force that creates spheres.
So
what are you trying to say? It sounds like nonsense.
Okay, I'll say it one more time, a little bit easier.
Dumb it down for me.
The claim is that gravity turns everything into spheres, right? The only evidence that we have at best of gravity is that gravity causes mass to attract to one another. What evidence do we have extrapolating off of that everything gets pulled into spheres? If we say water, then we also have to take into account surface tension, which is a separate force. Do we have an isolated example of gravity making a sphere?
How is that? All right, so you just threw in something completely unrelated and throwing in surface tension. They're not related. Like gravity is gravity.
I anticipated the most common go-to just in case.
But what does water's surface tension have anything to do with gravity?
All right, so forget I even said anything about that. Is there an example of just gravity creating spheres and without presupposing or begging the question of the planet that we're on or the lights in the sky? Do we have a terrestrial experimental example of gravity creating a sphere?
Well, let's see now. Probably not, other than you just said. You just negated the biggest, obvious reasons. Literally the thing you live on, the Earth, the moon. That's exactly.
So in English class, Jacob, in English class, we get taught
to me
fallacies.
In front of me using none of the proof that is there.
No, but you just
That's exactly what you just said.
Jacob, I need you to realize this, right? This is not, like, I'm not attacking you. Hold on. I'm not attacking you.
I'm not attacking you either,
I'm just trying to get,
bro.
I'm trying to get,
so dumb.
That's a projection. I'm trying to get you to see why. So you just admitted that the only evidence that you have is I know you're laughing, but it is pretty funny to me too, but I'm not laughing about it because it's serious, right? You're the way that you logically perceive things actually affects everybody in the long run. So you just admitted that the only proof that you have of the globe for gravity is a begging the question fallacy, presupposing that the thing that you are standing on is a sphere and that the lights in the sky are supermassive objects also pulled into a sphere by this thing called gravity that we can't even demonstrate on the small scale. Generally, a rule with science is that if you can't demonstrate it on even a small scale, you shouldn't assume it for the greater scale. To invoke scale to explain an observation or to explain why something isn't happening is to explain something away. It's not a positive evidence. So I'm looking.
Actually, you can do it on a small scale. I can't think of it off the top of my head, but
Cavendish experiment. It's called the Cavendish experiment. You're referring to the Cavendish experiment, which is completely be explained.
Am I?
Well, that's the only small scale. That's the only small scale explanation of gravity that's ever been done. So yes, that's what you're referring to. You don't even know.
No, I'm not even. I have an experiment that I'm referring to. It was actually, I'm trying to remember. It was when I was a kid. Even it was a National Geographic thing I was watching. It was just something. God, I'll try and find it if I can. It's online.
Before you get
anyway,
too far sidetracked, can we acknowledge that the thing that moves the lights in the sky and that makes them circles has no relation to the thing that is causing dropity here on Earth? There is no way to prove that relationship.
What do you mean? How could you not? So you don't believe the moon doesn't create the tides, right? You don't believe that?
Well, you don't have any evidence that the moon creates the tides either, so that's just a
Yeah, I
baseless
do.
claim. That's a baseless claim.
What evidence do you have?
2,000 years of science, bro. Like, what do
I
you
just said-
mean?
if
You
I
just,
just-
ignore, you
Jacob,
just ignore all
no,
the
if I
evidence.
just-
That's the thing. You have more evidence than anybody.
I'm asking for it.
You,
Don't
like,
say we're ignoring something when you haven't provided it.
you are ignoring everything. Like, that's the thing. You ignore everything you don't want to believe. You don't want it to be true. You want to be special. So you just ignore it.
Well,
And
give me
it's
something
completely
specific.
like anybody that
Something specific that we're
I
ignoring.
can't, I am not that smart of an individual. I can't make up new evidence that doesn't exist. I don't have the resources. I don't have the IQ to do so.
Jacob, wouldn't it be
But
possible?
I am more than capable of understanding what is presented for me in evidence. I have watched literally probably 500, maybe 600 hours worth of flat Earth stuff, and none of it has ever been more convincing to me than an episode of Bill Nye the Science Guy when I was a kid. That's how asinine and what you can use these fancy words, you can use all these blah, 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 and you can keep switching back and forth like a good grifter does. You keep everybody dancing back and forth, back and forth. You're really good at doing that. And then yourself sound like you're saying something. It's all word salad. You don't actually say anything. It's all word
Badge of
salad.
honor.
Everything that you string together doesn't actually fit together with each other.
So
All
I'll
right,
give him some specific
Jake,
examples.
hold on one second. Jake, you love when I say what proof, you say thousands of years of science, but you never name the science. Well, how about thousands of years of civilizations that all say the Earth is flat? Thousands of years of civilizations that all say the Earth is flat, except this one religious one right here called NASA. Okay.
Well, let's see now. Religious, although they're either religious based or literally a 2,000-year-old troll, the one with the extra lands and everything, that was literally a fictional piece that was based off of, and you're taking that for a fact.
One of those
Hilarious.
is Greek. The Greeks are claimed to have believed in the sphere 2,000 years ago, so why are they giving us a flat Earth depiction for the Greeks?
They figured it out at the beginning. They used to think it was flat, of course, and then they figured it out.
All right. So they figured it out with the sticks and shadows, which we just showed you doesn't work. It doesn't prove the globe
It
or
does,
flat Earth.
it absolutely does work. You just are choosing to say it doesn't.
How
because
does
you
it
use your
work?
own narrative.
How does it work?
You didn't understand the reputation, my friend.
Yeah,
we've
how
refuted
does
every
it
point
work?
that you've made specifically.
It wouldn't work if it wasn't the size. Like I don't know how to explain common sense, bro. Like I don't know. Like you literally, I don't know how to explain common sense. I can't do that. Like
Common
you
sense,
literally don't,
Jacob, common
you're-
sense would be when he
you're-
shows you a demonstration of how it could work, right, which he did, and it would be that, okay, then I guess that's not exclusive proof anymore. That would be the
It's
intellectually
it's
honest thing to do,
it's
not just doubling back.
incorrect.
Hold on, you're just doubling
it's-
back to your old belief when
It's
you just
incorrect.
refuted it.
It's incorrect though.
How?
What he's doing is
How?
completely incorrect. I already
Show me how.
told you that. I already told you how.
Show me
You
how.
you already know how because you're the one doing it.
So we just showed
Here,
that it works with the
let me
local
show you.
or our
Look,
sun.
Jacob, here's a globe Earth, and we got our three wells, or sticks, and here's our flat Earth.
Here's the grip. Here's the grip.
Okay.
Here's the grip. Here we go.
Here's the grip. Here's the grip. No, I'm showing you. Listen, Jake, I'm showing you what you're saying. I'm showing you what you're saying. Jake, you gotta just shut up for a second, man. So here's all your parallel rays coming into all of these wells, showing the shadows, and here it is on a flat Earth. It works on both. Okay, it works on both. It works on both as the sun moves across the Earth. That's how it works. You have your globe, you have your flat, right? They think the rays come in parallel. No one's ever seen parallel rays, but that's the story.
Nobody's ever seen parallel rays. All right, go on.
Have you ever seen parallel rays? Have you ever seen parallel rays? Have you ever gone outside and seen non-compuscular rays coming through the clouds? Have you ever seen parallel rays? I'm just asking because none of us have. We've been looking, but they're always crepuscular, always. Now the globers will say, well, that's refraction. Okay, whatever, refraction or not, I'm not claiming anything other than the rays aren't parallel. How did Aristophanes do his experiment if the rays weren't parallel?
Gosh, you guys literally giving me a headache.
Bam.
A headache because you're actually trying to think. Your brain actually has to work. It's kind of like working out for the first time. You get really sore. Right?
you guys have
Memorization
to
is
bitch.
easy.
And beer
Memorization is
doesn't
easy.
help.
Thinking, processing information in your brain is painful if you haven't done it.
Not this in real
I've
time.
already told you. I've listened to all your crap. I've like.
Listen, think about it. They're telling us, the Earth is so small and the sun is so big, blah 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 blah. So the Earth is being like lit up with parallel rays that covers the whole Earth. Straight one. Straight rays. Lights up half of the Earth. Straight ones. But you never see it. You never see a big fucking ray that looks like a laser. Boom, covering half of the Earth. You don't see that. You see a local motherfucker that is, having rays all over the place.
Like more than I ever would ever want to.
So you should be
because
really-
I
Okay,
had
so where's
to-
your glow proof?
I had
One
to
glow
know.
proof. That's all I need. One glow proof. Just one.
I've already given you my reasons. I told you I don't have any new evidence that doesn't already exist.
Wait a minute. So your reasons are Google, which we showed you don't work. The Foucault
my-
pendulum, which we've proven that the best scientists in the world, the best mind in the world, say doesn't work. We've
Can I tell you?
Go ahead.
You've already did beat me at the own game because I let you do exactly what I didn't want to do, and it's already happened. I didn't even want to talk about this because it's the moot point. There's no matter the evidence that you're shown. It doesn't matter any of it. Nothing that you could ever be done. Like I said, Superman himself could fly you in space and show you, look, idiot.
That's your best proof,
Fucking like
Superman.
a true- That's a loser.
I'm just saying, would you please let me finish my statement? What I'm saying is you have a desire to denounce science and all of its in all of its forms because you honestly don't understand it. You look up these words, you think you know what they mean.
You admitted
think
that
you
you don't
understand,
understand
but
it.
you actually
Cultist.
Yeah, I do admit that I don't understand.
This guy is a cultist, and he just can't handle it. He can't handle his cult leaders being, exposed. He's
Why would you
malfunctioning.
project that? Why would you project that onto us?
Because you don't know. It's obvious. Like I said, any 10-year-old can give the evidence that you've been presented by dozens and dozens of people personally on these videos. Like I said, even asshole Professor Dave hands you your ass on every point and can do it much more articulately than
He
I
actually,
can.
so
I
that
didn't- I
so
didn't
that's
do
actually
any
went
prep.
through a
I didn't do
logical
anything.
analysis. Jacob, there's actually been a logical analysis done on the Flat Earth Dave versus Professor Dave debate, and Professor Dave almost got accused of having a mental disorder because he used constant logical fallacy after logical fallacy, kind of like you're doing.
According to you.
No.
You,
No, by
according to
definition,
logic.
textbook
Yes.
definition of logical fallacy, you are doing it.
According to you.
No,
It's
according
exact
to the textbooks.
From our perspective, it's the exact opposite. Dude,
Jake.
Do
you
definitions
guys are
have
idiots.
meaning? Do words have meaning that we can agree on? Is the sky blue? Is there objective reality, Jacob? Come on. Let's get real.
I mean, obviously not.
Jake,
Because
the breakdown of the Professor Dave interview is a logical breakdown from a guy that's not flat or globe. He's just doing it from logic. And if you had my app for $3, you can go to the webpage and go to the debunker. It's right there. And don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe. I need that $11. I need it.
I know you do. I know
Okay.
you do.
Send it to
I know
me.
you do.
Send me your money. Send it to me.
Oh
Send
my
me your
God, bro.
money.
Seriously though, can
Sorry
I
for
get
yelling.
one thing before? No, it's fine. Can we get back to one thing though? Like everything else aside, fun to have an argument, whatever. And thanks for letting us just be able to do this, and we can vent and all that, and just have good fun. I'll give it to you. This has been fun, regardless. Okay, I'm frustrated, but it's fun. It's good to have a nice argument. But one thing, really, what I said in the beginning, it really, really angers me, and I really wish you guys wouldn't do that. But the Challenger explosion, like, come on, you even know that's so wrong. You know what I mean? I get you're trying to look for the gotcha thing, but please, man, it's so disrespectful.
Jake,
People were
just
here-
Hold on.
because-
Is this guy drinking alcohol so that he can, have an excuse or something? Oh, I was drunk. I don't know what I was doing. Is that why he's drinking? Why would you drink?
because we don't have hours here. If you go onto the web button page of the app that you're going to buy, it's
I'm not buying it.
Rockets Are Balloons. Oh, you have to buy it, Jake. Come on. I'll even give you a little discount. I'll give you a 50 cents off. Okay. Rockets Are Balloons. Watch that. Watch that. Okay. Rockets Are Balloons.
You can actually watch, if you, like I said, you can have skills with the recorder and telescope. You can actually look at the ISS and watch it go across the sky. And how's the balloon go 22,000 miles an hour?
No, I'm not claiming the ISS is a
That
balloon.
works, man.
I'm not claiming the ISS is a
But
balloon.
anyway, the challenge. Why are you denying? Like the one thing I keep bringing up about you're saying the Challenger people are still alive. Why are you deflecting on that? Keep bringing up.
So, Jake, do you have any brothers or sisters? You do. You have a brother you don't talk to. So maybe that's not a good example, but it's kind of weird that at all of the funerals, none of their twins showed up at the funeral or spoke at the funeral. There are no birth records of their twins. Okay, there's no birth records, no mention of them before the Challenger disaster, but after the disaster, they come onto the scene and they become spokesmen for their dead brother. They didn't show up at the funeral. There's no birth records. I have a problem with that. You don't.
What twins?
All of the Challenger astronauts supposedly have twins.
Except for
They
one.
claim to be the twin of their dead brother or sister. Okay? When they're approached, they're like, no, I have a twin. That's my twin. That's my identical twin. Where's your birth record? There is no birth record. Why didn't you go to the funeral? I don't know. They didn't go to the funerals.
What are you talking
All
about?
of them.
What are you,
I'm
what are you talking about?
Process this. Okay. The Challenger astronauts that all supposedly died have 6 of them out of the 7 have twins, identical
see,
twins.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
You have the picture.
No,
They
they
admit
don't.
it. It's not us. It's not us saying that. They have identical twins, right? They all admit.
Those are not. No.
Okay,
no,
hold
see,
on,
Dad, you
hold
are-
on,
you are
hold on, hold
lying.
on.
This is why I'm
Okay.
upset. You are
So,
lying.
so let me ask you a question. If you come across evidence of them saying that they're the twin, okay? So
No,
actually,
you were
you
changing.
know what?
You were changing
Some-
that
no,
on the
wait.
spot.
No,
I've
some
already
of
seen
them
your
are
movie.
twins. Yeah, it's not my movie, and it's a great movie. It's called Level with Me, and you can find it on the app for
Well,
free.
you are the one. You are the one on it saying it's them, and you're not going to say anything about a twin or anything like
Yeah.
that. You said this.
You don't
is
find
them.
it suspicious that Scobie has a website with a cow making a pattern of smoke in the sky on a rocket, and then when we discovered it, it disappeared? You don't have a problem with that? You don't have a problem with that at all? You don't have a problem that their twins didn't show up at the funerals? No problem with anything.
No
You just don't
twins.
believe.
You're-
Okay,
You just
Skylar.
pulled this out of your ass. You literally just
Go
did. None of this else existed before, and you keep deflecting. Like I said, oh my god, I was having a good time, but this really pissed me off, man. For real, those people were heroes. and
you're the
they
one who brought
died.
it up.
Really emotional about it. And the thing is that,
Yeah,
and here's
because-
the thing,
because
you're not going
you
to
people
Alex
are
Jones this
harassing
channel, right? Like that's obviously not going to happen. But what I will say is
What do you
that
mean
video
harassing? He wouldn't even speak about it if there wasn't identical people still alive today to those same exact people that supposedly died in that rocket launch. It's simply that. They wouldn't even talk about it if it hadn't been that there are identical people to those same people who supposedly died in 1986 or whatever it was. Yeah. Harassing. The level, man. The level of intelligence.
What do you mean, Alex Jones' channel? You keep.
Yeah, if you don't know what that means. Yeah, if you don't know what that means,
why do you
then
keep-
that really
Why
makes
do you
sense to
keep
talk about.
why do you
Not
keep
harassing
harassing
anybody.
these people?
Who am I?
You're harassing
Who
like
am I
the,
harassed?
the people from the people from the Challenger explosion. You're
Who
harassing
has
people
Dave
that
harassed?
were
Who have I
never them.
harassed?
Yeah.
Flat earthers. You one of them, weren't you? You're the one that asked going up asking questions for one of them. The one professor of economics, I believe it
No.
was.
I'm flattered.
No,
It wasn't you.
no.
It looked like you. It looked like you. Maybe I could have been mistaken, but it did look like you. No, actually, the other guy had longer hair. Maybe not.
Obviously,
But-
harassment is bad, guys. Don't be going around causing people a bunch of hassle. But I don't think harassment is just going up and asking a simple question like, "Why weren't you at your sibling's funeral?" I mean, that's not harassment, right?
They're not twins, bro. Like
You
you,
have-
again, that's
What if they
you're making that up.
What if they objectively
You're
were?
absolutely making that
What
up.
if they objectively were objectively? Like we can show you that they are admitted to be twins.
Show me.
What if that's NASA's official stance that they have a twin brother and sister?
Show me.
Go watch the movie. All the information is in there. I have a playlist on all of this with tons of information. I'll send it to you, and you can watch it. But you've watched too many videos. You've watched them all, right? So why bother watching anything that can give you more information? Can we get back to the Earth? Do you have a globe proof one? Because you haven't given us one yet. We just want one, so we can get rid of
already
our
told
grips and I could shut down.
I've
You
already
keep
told
saying
you.
I've already told you. You say 2,000 years. That's not a proof, right? That's a claim. You say Google Earth. Show you that Google Earth shows you the opposite of reality. You claim Foucault's pendulum. The brightest minds in the world say Foucault pendulum. No.
Stop
Okay.
putting-
All right. So give me your
please
best
stop putting
globe.
word- I already said I already gave you my answer 4 or 5 times now. I said it's an impossibility for me to give you any new evidence that doesn't exist. I don't have the tools. I don't
Well,
have.
there is no
the
evidence that
ability to
exists.
do so. If I
So why
said
do you?
it,
So
I
here's the
would.
question: why do you believe the Earth is a globe?
God damn you!
Jake, why do you believe the Earth is a globe?
Why?
Yeah.
My innate instincts tell me.
Innate instincts. You mean your lifelong programming? Is that what?
Yeah, your initial programming when you came to this reality, when you were an infant or little kid, they had to program you with a ball, even though you have no use of knowing
Invert.
that.
Phone. Haha.
When you have no use for the ball at all, huh? Why are they giving you that information when you have no use for it as a kid? You tell me, Tony. You tell me, Tony.
What you're saying? Because you have no
No.
instincts.
I will tell you. It's to make sure that it's well installed inside of your brain, well programmed that you will think it's a ball made by the wizards of this world, satanic witches. They need to make sure that you're installed from the get-go that this is a ball, and for you to not trust your own eyes. Because you, as a kid, if you were not installed with the ball, like, let's say nobody told you it's a ball as a kid. They never showed you anything. You would automatically think this is flat. And once they would tell you, no, it's a ball, you will be very skeptical. Like, what do you mean it's a ball? How is it a ball? You know?
I absolutely do.
Yeah.
See,
So my instincts tell me that you don't have
thing,
any common sense.
No, I actually did. I did a lot of thinking about this philosophically, and the reason why you say there's no evidence, if you genuinely, I don't believe you guys do because I've already explained that. But those that really do wholeheartedly believe in the flat Earth thing, you are lacking. It's the best way to describe it is you don't see the universe in 3D. It's all 2D in your head, and I don't know how to explain it other than that.
Hey, don't you talk about that shit, because I actually claim everything is 2D. Yes, everything is derived from 2. You know. The 3D you're watching right now through the screen, it's all 2D, giving you the illusion of 3D. When you put on a VR headset,
Ashraf been jabbed. Let me guess that dude is jabbed.
Most likely he's been drinking beer the whole fucking stream. I love this though, because this shows you how stupid Globers are. But anyways, in a VR headset, your brain, when you put that on, your brain actually thinks it's in another 3D realm. But it's absolutely 2D. It's 2D, but it goes through 2 lenses, whatever. And your brain actually thinks you're in a 3D environment. The same thing goes for our world. We think it's 3D, but it's all based on 2. Yes, 2, man. 2.
I have a difficulty understanding that there is no up, down, left, right in space. Everything is just relative to each other, and you can't, like I said, that's the best way I can describe it. You are missing that connection, and if there's one thing, if you just get that spark and you could see it yourself, otherwise that's why you bring up and make up all these other things to make the world make sense to you, to make the math make sense to you, and you look up all these again fancy words that you think mean something else than they do, but they don't.
What fancy word?
What I'm trying to say is, all the stuff that you say, the word salad you bring in all the time.
Fancy word. That used to come from the Globers with their wizard words, with their fancy words.
So word salad. Explain. Give us some word salad. Give me an example of our word salad.
I can't do that. I can't make a BS on the fly like that. The way you guys do.
So something you don't understand, simple, is word salad.
Oh, I understand that it's rubbish. Absolutely.
So what is rubbish? What do we say that's rubbish? Do you have a globe proof? By the way, I need globe proof. It's just something that makes you believe you live on a globe. I just need one reason that you believe you live on a globe, but you haven't given us one yet. Because your instincts tell you. Your instincts tell you that we're grifters. Okay, your instincts are wrong. Your instincts are wrong.
No. I know they're not.
Instincts aren't proof of anything, right?
I'm actually a diagnosed empath. I know how people work. I can read you like a book. Those eyebrows give you away every time.
You suck.
You're so full of them, man. I'm sorry. I'm not even trying to be mean.
I'm so full of shit that my eyes are brown.
This guy, he actually thinks he's good at spotting fakeness, this guy. But he's so bad. He is so
Ashraf been
bad.
jabbed. Why are these people go against Dave without any preparation?
I don't know. He says he's watched a bunch of hours of Flat Earth stuff, but he still doesn't believe it. And then he comes on here with a beer. He drinks beer like a knucklehead. But anyways, his way of assessing stuff is so off. But he thinks he's really good at spotting fake people. You know what that tells me? That man, he got a lot of fake people around him that he doesn't know about. He thinks they're real, but his sensor is so off. So he probably got a lot of fake people around him thinking that they are real. You fucked up, man. You fucked up.
That, but I feel sorry for you guys. I really do. I hope
sorry.
I really hope one day that you allow yourself
To be completely real with you, man.
To become a sheep like
I've
me.
I've listened to a lot of this, and
Yes.
I've bit my tongue for a lot of it because I do. Part of the reason why I do this isn't to argue, although I do like to have a good debate. I really wouldn't consider this a great debate simply for the fact, regardless of who's right and who's wrong, right? You could be completely right but be arguing for something completely illogically, and just like you could be completely wrong about something and be arguing completely logically about that thing, right? So the thing is, with this conversation, we've made very specific claims about, okay, well, the sunset's not setting. Here's an example of it not setting. Here is an example of how the Eratosthenes would work on flat Earth. Here is the example. I think we covered at least 3 examples of how it would work specifically on flat Earth. We asked you for a specific anything for the globe, and the best that you gave us was doubling back to the points that we already showed you how it would work. And instead of explaining how what we said wouldn't work, you simply admitted that you didn't understand it, and then accused us of drifting again, because we can't possibly be this smart, right? You can't be this smart and disagree with 99% of the world, right? Is that what you believe?
Absolutely. You guys are morons.
What if I were to tell you that the greatest minds of all time often said that the geniuses were always going to be looked at as crazy from the masses? Like, that is a common quote, a common conception.
That's what you, exactly. And you really, really want to feel special like that. You do. I know you do.
But you can say that we want to, right? And regardless if we want to or not, would that take away from the validity of the claims that we're making? We've made very specific and valid claims. You have not made any specific.
You know, it would be one thing if you're just talking a bunch of shit, you know, but these guys are showing you shit. Like, literally showing you examples after examples. You know what I mean? And you still can't take it in. That's some programming right there. You know what I mean? Straight up.
Specific claim at all. You have simply said thousands of years, and nothing you say makes sense.
You have, so that's the thing. You are saying a whole bunch of things that sound good but are complete nonsense.
Like
I'm
what?
using the most basic remedial. You know what? You know how easy it is? Literally go on Google, open a textbook. It's really that simple.
We did.
There are people.
Give us a specific,
Because everything
Jacob,
you say,
one specific example.
literally everything,
What do I
everything
Google?
you say is asinine.
What do I Google?
What's that?
Give me one specific example of something that was directly wrong, and tell me what I can Google to correct myself. Thank you.
I can't give you one specific one. I can tell you every little thing that you've said is completely inaccurate. Everything.
So give us one. Name one of them.
Yeah, just one.
Name one of them. That's like saying all of history, all of science. Name one.
Shouldn't I assume,
thing.
Jacob? Shouldn't I assume if
The
you
Earth
can't
is-
hold on, if you
the
can't
Earth is
articulate,
flat.
hold on, Jacob, if you can't articulate one thing back to me that I have said in any kind of argument or refutation, shouldn't I then assume that you just are not listening? Wouldn't that be a safe assumption?
Oh yeah, no, I do listen. I just it's so just. I'm trying to say it without just being completely insulting, but I don't think I can. I know what you're doing. I know who you are. And the way you deflect when you get to really important questions, like, you know, the things that you don't like, you take a second, go back. It's
Give me the
obvious. It's a big
specific.
grip.
Ask me something you think I
I
won't
know,
like. Go ahead.
I know for a fact neither of you believe the Earth is flat. at
Ask
this
me
point.
something that you
Like,
think I won't like.
He knows that for a fact. Like 100%. That's true.
Specifically,
I
something
can
that you
see-
think I'll run
I
from.
can.
You know for
I-
a fact. That is hysterical.
I know for a fact both of you don't.
Yeah,
think
there's
the Earth is
not
flat.
a single question that you can ask that I'll run from.
Especially after talking to you like this for so long. It's obvious. It's a scam. and it's
Congratulations
sad.
on making it an hour, by the way.
By the way,
Jake,
what did you,
I set the over under at 30 minutes, and Skylar won. Hey, Jake, I have one more very important question. What can I do? What can I do to get you to buy my app? What kind of phone do you have?
Fucking shit, bro.
Okay.
For real?
Listen,
For real?
yeah, I want you to get the app. It's amazing. It's amazing. Where do you live? What state do you live in?
I
I don't need your address. What state? You live in Maryland. Let's look at Maryland. All right, Maryland.
I'll say this, Jacob, if you get the app and take the 2-week challenge, right? Which I'll let Dave explain the challenge, right? If you make it through that and can still believe in the globe and even give us one good globe proof, I'll pay for your app and Dave will give you 3 Bitcoins. How's that sound?
There you go.
Deal.
Deal?
And you know what? I'll even come back for another one because I'll be completely honest. I came on this not even more of an emotional response because of how angry I was at you in the beginning. And even though I don't like you and I don't like what you're doing, I can still admit that you do have a charming personality about you, and that's why you are so good at doing this. You do have that. You have that good empathetical connection, and you do seem very sincere, and it does make a good grip. I do tell you that.
I do feel bad about the situation.
Wait. Is that about Dave or both of them? Doesn't matter. He said in the beginning that both of them are fake, and now they're real.
situation with your brother. I will say that as you come into this, one thing that often happens is people get really upset at the way that they acted towards people that believed in this kind of thing, and they find it hard to like forgive themselves or reach back out to admit that wrongdoing.
And
I
here-
would say
here-
if you
here-
do look into
the
this
thing
and you
with-
do come to the agreements, I would definitely say do not hold back. Definitely rekindle that relationship. And even if you don't agree, I don't think that this is something to burn relationships over.
No, it's not me. It's him. So, do you want to hear the story? Do you care to hear? If not, I won't bother to waste your time. But he's not even my blood brother. He was my best friend growing up. He was adopted brother, I guess you could say. He had problems with his family growing up. And he came to my house every day after school since grade school. We were, for all intents and purposes, family. And he got married as well. I married as well. And of course, we know we have our adult lives now. And just during the pandemic, I should back up a little bit. He's had a couple times in his life that he's had a
You better call it for what it is. Plan. Demic.
completely the first time was he had audio hallucinations. We were camping and drinking as teenagers do, 17, 18 years old, for 3 days straight, not sleeping. So what happened? You hear shit and you start to go to sleep, right? Everybody's been there once in their life, I would imagine, not sleeping, you start hearing shit that's not there. He thought that was the word of God, absolutely. He became born again Christian. But like, to a degree that's unhealthy, wearing a suit and tie everywhere. And this is coming from a straight atheist to that. And it was an unhealthy thing, like he was ripping out pages of the Bible and sticking it to him and praying for, like a psychotic break, like not a healthy relationship with God. I'm atheist, but whatever makes you feel happy and complete, all for it. Whatever you feel is, but you get what I'm saying. So he went through that, and then he came back down to earth, so to speak, and realized, I went a little crazy there. He got some help. He found love, and he's still Christian, but was very much so just a regular Christian,
Yeah, have you given him a globe proof to help bring him back to reality? Have you given him a globe proof to bring him back to reality?
Oh, 1,000 times.
1,000 times. Can you give us one of them? Can you give us one of the 1,000? Just one.
Let me finish. Let me finish. I got to why I know what you're lacking and you don't understand, because speaking with my brother, he keeps bringing up all of your arguments as well. He literally says things that you say verbatim. He doesn't like, and that's the issue. Like I know him so well. He can't see the universe in 3D. That's what it was. He has the same deficiency that most that seem to be genuine seem to do. It clicks to him because you go into all this pseudoscience and all this mathematical stuff that doesn't actually make sense to the reality in front of you, and you're missing that. You literally in your head see. There's no way there's no evidence I can give it to you. You just have to have that awakening yourself. Is the only way I can say it. You don't see the world the same way I do, or the way the most people do.
Hold on. Is he talking about awakening by believing the standard thing to believe, which is the ball? Is that an awakening? Dude, we all had that awakening.
The innate instinct of knowing what the universe is in 3D, and the gravity pulls towards the center. You can't accept that because you don't see it yourself. In your head, it's all flat, so you have to make the argument around that to make it make sense to you. That's the main issue.
And that's not what you did with
No, I'm
with the gravity alone? With any of the other
Yeah,
claims?
I mean, you're talking about yourself. You're talking about yourself. You can't prove any of the things that you just said, and science has actually proven them untrue.
Neither
And
can
you're just,
you. So
we can see
it's
too
a
far.
moot point. Neither
Water
can
doesn't
you.
curve.
So-
There is no axial rotation. We can see too far. Get over that one.
dude, you don't get it. Like, if you really are genuine, like,
I don't get
I'm really
it.
starting to believe it myself. I'm really starting to believe it myself.
I mean, are you flip-flopping back now? First you said they were fake, and then you said 5 minutes ago they were real, and now you're doubting. Like, are you real? You see what I'm saying? This guy's senses for determining what is real and fake is all over the place, man. All over the place. He don't know nothing, man.
Maybe you really aren't a grifter. Maybe you really do believe it, and that's
Hey, I think that's something we can agree on. That's the third point.
that's even worse. If
You got
really-
something right. You got something right.
You really do believe it, huh? You really do.
I know we don't live on a globe. We're trying to figure out what this place is, and we've got a good start, but we definitely don't live on a globe. I mean, how does the gas stay stuck to a globe in space?
Gravity? What are you talking about?
Gravity holds the gas on. So how do you drink through a straw?
Wouldn't
Wouldn't gravity hold wouldn't gravity hold the air? Like if you put a straw in your mouth and suck the air, how come the air is going up? How come the air is going up?
Because you are.
I'm asking a question.
Because when you suck,
Because-
you are low. You are lower. You want me to answer?
Oh,
When you're
lowering the
sucking,
pressure in your
you're
mouth.
lowering, yeah, and the atmospheric pressure
Okay,
is pushing.
So what space is low pressure? How come it doesn't suck the air off the Earth?
Oh, I knew you were gonna go, like, if you did the space straw and you stuck it in the ocean, why didn't it suck it all into the atmosphere or whatever? Yeah, it doesn't work like that. You would have to overcome the gravity itself to do so. And because
So the
it's not
weak
sucking
vacuum of
motion,
your lungs
it
the weak
doesn't-
vacuum of your lungs can overcome gravity down at the
it's
ground
not a-
level.
It's not. Yes, it's not a vacuum.
Yes.
That's where you're wrong. There you go. Ben, you don't understand the science. It's not a vacuum. It's not sucking. It's a pressure equilibrium.
That's
Right.
all
So
Dave
have to
does.
right. It's if you got a bottle and
It
suck the air.
doesn't
Hold on,
suck.
hold on. You got a bottle. You suck some of the air out, so it's low pressure. And you stick a straw in it, and you hold your finger on the straw, so it hasn't equalized yet. And then I let go. It's going to suck air up into that bottle, up and away from gravity. So the low pressure of the bottle is able to suck air up and away. Experiment you can do right in your home right now. But the massive low
that's the thing.
pressure of space can't suck air up.
That's the thing. It's not sucking it up. The air pressure is actually pushing in. It's the opposite of what you're thinking it is.
Okay, so if you're going to claim that air has pressure and is like weighing down on things, then what would be the weight of air? And then if you were to claim that air actually does have a weight, then we could talk about things like helium and things that actually like go up, right? So we can acknowledge there's multiple different forces going on here. We have the force of pressure mediation, and then we have the supposed pseudo force of gravity, right? Which gravity is admitted to be a pseudo force. Look it up. In any case,
It's a law. It's a physical law. Anyway, go ahead.
it's actually a pseudo force. But anyway,
No, it's not. You say it is, but it's actually a law of physics. So go on.
we can bet money on that one. But in any case,
Yeah.
so we have two different forces here at play, right?
We can.
With a very weak ability of our lungs.
Time out. Sorry. May I have a 30-second bathroom break? Honestly, can I just go to the bathroom real quick? Do you mind?
Yeah, probably necessary with what you've been drinking. So
Thank you. And you're not wrong. I'll give you that one. There's your trifecta.
Wow.
we did get the trifecta. Give you a sec. We'll wait for
All
him
right.
to come back for just a second. But yeah, basically, it's just that we have the force of pressure mediation, obviously overcoming gravity in every instance that we ever see it. So what instance would we not? What instance would it not happen, right? And you'd have to beg the question, presuppose the globe. So yeah, he's doing a really great job backing himself into these corners.
Jesus Christ. I mean, it's unbelievable. Thousands of science, 2,000 years. And can you, you're lying. Everything you're saying is wrong. All right, can you give me one example? No, I can't give you a single example. You have a proof of the globe. I've given you all of them. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I can only take 5 more minutes of this.
yeah, we're gonna have to.
You wanna, I don't know, we'll get the stream going for a few minutes after?
It's up to you.
I don't know, to let people jump on or something like that. I don't know how you work streams.
Yeah, we can do that. I usually open it up and let people hop on.
Let's do it for a few minutes.
Yeah, no
All
problem.
right, how do we we get rid of him?
I heard everything you said. Don't worry.
I'm kidding. All right.
Anyway, I think it's funny because you redirect everything the way to fit your narrative, like I said. And I can say, oh, thousands of years, but literally that's the God's honest truth. No pun intended, I don't believe. Because that's how dumb it really is, what you're trying to do and what you're trying to push on people. I can literally say something as dumb, and I'm trying to make it, like, you really don't pick up on the sarcasm as much as I thought you would, because you don't really, like, it's really that simple. There's been scientists here for thousands of years that are smarter than either of us, any of us put together, and have figured this out for a long time now.
But you
Anybody-
deny when they say things that go against your claims of the globe. When Einstein said that the Foucault's pendulum cannot prove the spin of the Earth, you deny that. But you like quoting scientists that only agree with you. Okay, so Einstein's off the table. What else you got? Can you name any citation?
I don't believe. I actually don't. I don't believe that. Actually, I'll have to do that in my own research. But I don't.
All right.
I
So
don't-
when after you see that
I
it's
think you-
true, then what? Are you going to admit the Earth is flat?
No.
Okay.
But you could admit that it's. Not
It's
proof
funny
of
that you
everything.
really.
You know, I wonder how much of this, denying or like being so against the flat Earth, how much of that, I wonder how much of that is just because the majority of the sheep, they will bully you and call you names and shit. Like, I wonder if it was like, if people were cool with the idea, I wonder how many more people would just say, yeah, I think it's flat. You know what I mean? Because it feels like there's a lot to it that, people are afraid to get, called names and being outcasted and shit. That means they did a really good job with programming the sheep. Really good job with that.
But you would at
He
least
was
be
breaking
able
up
to.
there.
You would at least be able to admit that Foucault's pendulum is no longer evidence, right?
I don't think I'll admit that.
No, actually, I think it's pretty good evidence.
Even if Einstein disagrees with you and says it's not
I think
evidence.
it's really. Yeah.
So you would be disagreeing with Einstein again, exactly like Dave just said. You disagree with the scientists when they go against your globe claim, but you go with the scientists when it backs up your globe claim. Can't have it both ways.
Yeah.
bro.
Bingo. See how that
Logically,
works?
it's logically
Hey,
inept.
Jake. We're gonna wrap this up. We're gonna wrap this up because flat Earth might not be for you.
You know what projecting
Truth might
is?
not be for you.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Kyle, should we pray for him?
Yeah,
Can we,
you
can we
don't-
have a
we
little prayer?
get what you're saying, Jacob, but you don't get that we use
Please
hostile
don't.
witnesses against you. So that's okay, though.
Yeah.
You think use what against hostile? What?
Yeah, hostile witnesses. Yeah,
Jake,
scientists that
you're gonna be
disagree with you.
famous, by the way.
Good. I hope so.
Be
So
pretty.
before you go,
You're gonna give us a globe proof? You're gonna give us a
Can I
globe
ask
proof?
Can I ask your middle name or your middle
No, it's
initial?
all right. It doesn't matter.
Because
does that
I'm
do
pretty
with anything?
sure. Because I'm pretty sure, like, why I'm going back to you being as a grifter or whatever. I can't find anything about you before the flat Earth stuff. That's why I was
Go
asking
look
what you
deep.
used to do
Go look
before.
up deep inside the rabbit hole. My information's out there. I'm all over the place. Go find me on
Right.
LinkedIn. Go find me on LinkedIn. Right? You can find me anywhere. You are a horrible researcher if you can't find me. You just don't know how to do anything. I'm out there more than anybody.
What is your middle initial?
You know what? Go figure it out yourself.
Why does that matter? You know? Just debate what is being shown to you and shut the fuck up. What the fuck does his person have to do with this shit? You know? Just shoot down his ideas or whatever that he's showing. And that's that. You know? Then you shoot down his whole grifting thing, right? If you do that.
Because if I told you my middle initial, you would say that it's
Globetards,
untrue in
man.
word salad because you probably don't understand the
Globetards.
letter that I'll
Why
tell
don't
you.
you? Why can't all the stuff you want to say? Why won't you give me your middle initial?
What difference does it make?
Why you have such a problem with it? My middle name's Anthony.
Nobody gives a
Hey,
fuck.
Anthony.
Nobody gives a fuck about your middle name. We're not interested in it.
Why? What's your middle name?
Kyle.
I don't think David Weiss is your original name.
Oh, I have a different name. I have a different name. I was born David Weiss. That is a
Pathetic.
fact. Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
You can
I
exchange.
don't-
He might give you a middle initial if you can give him one globe proof.
Yeah. That's a great deal. I'll give you
Dude, this guy should work at NASA and shit. He's a good Agent Smith.
I'll give you the whole middle name if you give me one globe proof.
Well, that's the thing. I already
have one.
won this.
You're
I
religious.
don't-
You're a religious fanatic. You don't have a globe proof, but you believe the Earth is a globe.
But he's
You
atheist.
excommunicated your best friend because he has proof the Earth is flat, and you
The
can't
dude is an atheist, yet he is in a religious cult.
He
come up
ex-
with one
That's funny,
counter
man.
proof.
He
That's
excommunicated
hilarious.
me.
Well, you know what? He's a
because-
smart guy. He's a
Yeah.
smart guy. Who needs mindless friends like that? I want you to wake up so you can regain your friendship with your lifelong friend. Right?
Yeah.
I want you to show him that you have the ability to learn new information, new things based on new information.
He
Okay?
actually- he
Give
actually-
me a globe proof, and when you can't come up with one, then you have to ask yourself, why are you in this religious cult called globalism?
Yeah, one
What
of
do
the
you mean I can't come up with one? I literally have.
You
all
keep
the-
saying that.
all the-
Give us one.
Because that's nice. Not like, of course, it's the truth. It's the objective truth. You are the ones making up bullshit
Jacob,
and trying to scam people.
I'm gonna
Like,
be I'm gonna be as nice as I possibly can here because I think that this is something huge, right? The reason
Go on.
And he's not scamming nobody, motherfucker. You know what he's doing? He's showing stuff, you know, to people. And then they're like, oh, this makes sense. This actually makes more sense than the globe nonsense. And then, from that, they go to his app and download his app. You know? That's how it works. They think what he's showing them makes sense. That's why they're going and downloading it. They're not a bunch of fucking drones. Like, you know? They're going there because they think what he is presenting actually makes sense.
I don't know your friend, right? But I would say that if I had a best friend that I came to with good evidences for, and they laughed at my face, they brought non sequiturs.
I didn't.
Hold on,
I
non
didn't.
sequiturs, red herrings. If you brought any of the anything that, if you talked any way of how you did today with the way of bringing proofs, like thousands of years of science, straw man after straw man, I would assume that my best friend doesn't have respect in me enough in my ability to do research to even look at this seriously. And I wouldn't want to be friends with someone like that.
Here's the thing. I actually made a pact myself that I would never even associate ever with a flat earther because of how asinine it is. That I would never bring myself to that level to even talk to people like you because that's how poison it is.
Hey, think about this. This is funny. His brother or friend or whatever it is, he has distanced himself from him. And that guy is a flat earther. This guy is a round tard, globe tard. Isn't it kind of embarrassing that a flat earther don't want to be friends with a globe tard? Should be the other way around. That's the default, you know. Like, are you a flat earther? Oh, I don't want to talk to you anymore. This is the complete opposite. That's hilarious. It's like, are you a globe tard? Fuck, I don't want to talk to you anymore. I know we've known each other since we were little kids, but man, you're tarded, and I don't want to associate with tarded people. You're a globe tard. That's funny.
But when he came out to me like that, and it was gradual. Actually, it wasn't even him. It was his son.
You've been dissed by a flat tard. How does that feel, man?
That was having doubts, and that's what he was bringing up his son and daughter to do, is to believe that, and they didn't believe it. They didn't. Fuck you. And they didn't want to believe it. Then after talking to me, they realized Daddy's crazy, and that's when he cut ties with me because I'm a groomer and I'm poisoning his children. Even though I tried to talk to him about it, and for the first time, I actually put it all aside and said, you know what? It's him. I can put it all aside. Doesn't matter. Whatever makes him happy. I can do that. If he couldn't do that. If I could be converted, then I'm the devil. He couldn't live with me having my beliefs, if you want to put it that way.
So you're an atheist that believes you live on a globe and you have zero proof of the globe. It's fascinating.
I have all. Why do you keep saying that? Like you have.
Because the whole show. Go back and listen to the show. Watch it on a bigger screen and show me where you gave me one proof of the globe. Just one. That's all I need, and I will stop grifting.
I don't have to myself because you've already been given more proof than I could.
Can you name one of them that was given to me? Tell me one that was given to me. Listen how you're just obfuscating. You are unwilling to point out one proof that was ever given to me by anybody. It doesn't even have to be yours. Any proof that the world is a globe. You believe it's a globe.
Gravity, the moon,
the moon. What about the moon?
Word salad.
Like, what?
Yeah, you are making a word salad, and it tastes like shit.
Dude, like, see, look, what you keep cutting me off, even though I'm not. You just want to beat me down with bullshit, and you guys are so infuriating. I don't have to have any more proof. I don't have to have any more evidence because what my reality
you
is
believe
the objective truth.
The objective truth.
Obviously,
I don't believe. I know.
Obviously, that wouldn't fly as an argument for us, right?
I have, of course not, because that wasn't the whole point of me even talking to you. Because I already said at the very beginning of the entire interaction, I don't want to play your games. It doesn't matter. Even like I said, it doesn't matter what I say. It would be denied anyway. I said even if I was Superman,
can you imagine if my chat does an analyst on this stream? It would just be ding, 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 ding. It would be a song. All right, Jake. Before we go, any glow proofs? Sorry, that's all I wanted.
What's your middle
glow proof. You didn't give me a glow proof. I'm not giving you my middle name.
The world's round. It's a globe. There's your proof.
That's my proof. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's your proof.
What's your middle name?
Jake, you have a major problem.
That's one.
You have the world is round. Okay. Yep. Hey.
There it is.
Tyler.
Sorry, I was modding up.
That's how dumb. That is how dumb Flat Earth is. Like to our perspective, that is how dumb you guys sound. Do you get it? That's how remedial it is.
Yeah, but
I don't have to say anything more. I don't have to say anything more than that.
Okay, so let's put the shoe on the other foot for a second, right? If we argued that way, right? Oh, it's just so remedial to say that the Earth is a globe. Oh, everybody just knows that it's flat. Oh, we just done thousands of years of experiments to show that it's flat. If we just answered the exact same way that you answered us, I mean, it wouldn't be convincing to anybody. But you have to think, right? I mean, you might not be taking this seriously at all, but I mean, we have big channels. You think that we're just drifting and lying to people? Don't you feel any kind of like moral obligation to our audience to like expose us? If you're trying to expose us, I mean, you're doing a terrible job. Absolutely terrible. We've refuted every single point that you made with specificity, and
I am trying to expose you, but not because of this bogus science you want to peddle, but because of who you are and where you came from and why you're doing it. And you refuse to even let me get 1 inch in there, and that's all the proof that I need myself. that you are guarding what you used to be and who you are.
I keep
so
interrupting you
hard.
because
I
you keep
can't
saying you keep talking in circles for like 5-10 minutes, and it's actually insufferable on my end.
So are you. God, and projection much, right? Oh my God, you guys are great at that
I
as
love
well.
hearing myself
See how that
talk.
works?
That's why I have a show.
Jacob, you brought nothing to the table. You've offered no proof. You've talked. You've accused us of word salad, and you're just making word mud soup. And you've given zero proof to the globe.
I'm on your level then, aren't I? Great.
Your actual best proof so far, I have to admit, is the world is round. That's your best proof that you've given to us today. That's your best proof. And if you understand what proof and evidence is, you realize that you have the mind of a very, very young person. I don't want to insult young people, but a very undeveloped mind. I'd say more of a cemented mind.
I would put down the alcohol for a bit and re-examine a few things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's my
I'm
five.
not saying that's-
Smoke weed, man.
9:30 is my 5:30. I work the graveyard shift, so I'm sorry. I'm going to have my Friday beer, whether you know.
Oh, that's fine.
Sorry.
Just when you're doing the research, I don't know if you do the research with beer in hand. I don't think I would do that if that is your method.
I have never done any research actually on trying to prove the world is round because I don't have to. I literally came into this completely cold. The only research I have done is, again, why I'm asking David for his middle name. So I can verify a few things. I'll come back with...
I think it's a fair deal. One glow proof from my middle name. Hey, Jacob, we're going to wrap it up. Unless you want my middle name and give us the glow proof, we're going to wrap it up. Any final statement?
Tell you what, I'll make another... If you're willing to have me, I'll make another...
You muted yourself, Jacob.
I'm muted.
There you go.
Another one of these. When I have one of those proofs for you, and if it's something you would at least consider as evidence and proof, I can articulate myself eloquently like you guys do. I'll get your middle name. Deal?
Sure.
Yeah, you give us one glow proof, you got my middle name.
Yeah, I'll give you mine.
And I'll shut down my channel. And I'll return everyone's money that bought the app, plus interest. And I'll give you 3 Bitcoins.
Before you go on,
And a partridge in a pear tree.
before you go on to challenge Dave for another debate, though, I will say there's an open panel that we do. Here's my chance to shamelessly plug, right? Dave can't be the only one grifting today. So we have our own True Earth debate open panel that we do on Monday night. So if you want to test out some of your arguments, if you want to get a chance to talk to some other actual flat earthers that have good points and arguments as well, then definitely check that out, man. I think that if you stick with us for a couple weeks, I think that you'll see the light.
I disagree with that.
Well,
But I can only hope. I can only hope.
I disagree with you, Dave, because it's all at the end of the day, it's all emotional, right? People are making their
Yeah.
decisions based on emotions, and you know,
I agree.
and when you are able to set that aside after a while and actually look at things logically, the truth becomes obvious.
Yeah, I agree. With those with eyes willing to see, you can lead a man to knowledge, but you can't make him think. Thanks, Jacob.
Yeah, thanks so much for coming on the show, man.
We're all done now. Thank God. All right. So what do I do when I'm ready to come back? How often do you do these?
I do a show every Monday night, 10 p.m. This troubling trivia.
Okay.
channel.
All right. I'll get in touch probably beginning of July. How about a month? Check back in with you.
That's fine.
Sure.
It's going to take you that long to come up with something. All right. See ya.
I work 7 days a week, man. So sorry.
Welcome to remain a slave in the system. That's what we're trying to do is free the slaves, unplug from the system. Okay.
Yeah, but I see how you're doing it as well. Make money off of them. Have a good day, guys.
You as well, Jacob.
Leave the challenger people alone. That's disgusting.
All right, I got the
Jesus,
invite
what?
link copy. Do you want to let some of the guests in for a few minutes?
Yeah, everyone jump on. This is crazy. That was so it's like an atheist that just can't even think. I mean, his mind is, is it the alcohol?
It is.
Yeah.
Alcohol is a literal mental retardant.
Yeah.
And so
He works 7 days a week. How's that working out for you? Right?
Yeah, I've never seen anybody on alcohol that it becomes sharp, you know? I thought weed made you slow. And it can sometimes maybe. But when I was trying it, I was like speed. You know, my mind was like on speed. It's way better than alcohol. Way better.
I mean, it's not meant to be insulting at all. It's just you have to actually look at the situation objectively. And okay, so links posted. Hop on in, guys. We got Baller Joe. Awesome. Effed Up World. Welcome. I wonder where he's going to be
Amazing.
reporting from today.
That was. I shared a few of the emails with you of him. It's just unbelievable. Hey, nice.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
There's a little bit of a delay.
Yeah, that's because of space and satellites and Hey, that was ugly. Just saying.
Yes.
Hey, Joe, come over to the whatever his room I'm in is and meet me.
Cupola. The
I'm in the
cupola.
cupola, man.
I would, but I'm doing some experiments with
Science?
Yes, science and Houston and the Dragon and stuff. So
Nice.
we're
Are you going to grow lettuce?
oh we got a
Yeah.
Subway
Be right back,
Subway
guys.
restaurant up here. We're making
Alright.
so much food. Dave, you guys did an awesome job. I didn't catch the whole thing, but
It was painful. It was super painful. The guy, amazing. It's just like everything he accused us of is what basically just him projecting. He's unable to process simple things. Run Boston Bear, I knew you'd show up. Hey, I learned something about Run Boston Bear, everybody, and I'm going to reveal it right now.
Uh-oh.
You ready? This
Yeah,
guy
what's up?
doesn't live in Boston. He lives in Texas.
Yeah.
What?
Yes, mind shocker. Every day
Wait,
you
wait.
get your mind blown. He lives
But
in
he
Texas.
runs in Boston though, right?
He does run in
Yeah.
Boston. He
Oh,
doesn't
okay,
run to
okay.
Boston.
So it's
He
not a
flies to
complete
Boston.
lie.
Right. So I always say every day I have my mind blown. I hope I blew some of your minds today with that little factoid. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice disclosure, buddy.
Yeah, I know, right?
The gig is
Hey,
up.
you know what's really funny? Let me know if you can hear me because I'm in the car.
Loud and
We
clear.
hear you.
All
We hear
right.
you.
This might be weird, but I'm going to do this because I was walking out of Home Depot listening to the whole thing. And Dave, you were like, bro, we need to pray for you. And I'm going to do that real quick. Just start off because I want to shake some of that, like, the oogie boogie. The dude is blind. I feel bad for him. I feel bad that the relationship with his best friend is damaged because of his inability to see. So, real quick prayer. Heavenly Father, we know this place is created. We know that each one of us are individually unique and special and amazing, and we have power, and they are trying to take it from us. They don't want us to know who we are. I pray that this friendship is restored and that you give him eyes to see. Raise the veil, not only of Jacob's eyes, but many people that are suffering to see the truth of this world. Bless Dave, bless Tribune, bless Witsit, Karen B, all the legends that are pushing for truth, because ultimately, Lord, I know that when people value the truth, they will look into this and help the egos. I know it's all an ego thing, and I pray this in Jesus' name, amen.
You're
I
much
think it's-
better. You're very good at praying. Very
I
good.
pray
Yeah,
every day,
that-
bro. I pray,
when you
pray every day.
When you said that, Dave, it caught my attention too. I'm like, yeah, that's what we need actually.
Hey, I've learned the power of prayer, and I used to laugh at it. It used to be crazy. You know, our highest purpose in life is to gain maximum intellect and share that with others. And you know, I sometimes get really pissed at people, and you know, and I would be like, you know, f them, fuck. You know, it's like, but now I'm like, I see that's their issue. I only pray that they can lift themselves up from that. I try to remain up here on the space station
Yeah.
and help people raise their spirits to this level. That's all.
Yeah.
And Dave, you
Well-
actually are an example of that in your debates that you do, or you know, even if you call it debates. But I'm reminded of Professor Dave and that stream you did. I was amazed at how you held yourself. That's hard to do. That guy is one of the most insulting.
Insufferable.
Yeah,
Super
I made a
douchebag.
video about it, Dave, just with the highlights from from
I saw
that
that.
video. I called it Professor Dave insults, but I put it on my TikTok and they took it down for abusive behavior.
Amazing.
It was just
He
him.
actually edited out all of Professor Dave's insults, and it took the debate from 3 hours down to 2 hours and 50 minutes.
Yeah, 57 minutes.
2 hours and 57 minutes.
Yep.
Are you flagging us
Hey,
down? You're saying hi that you're back.
No, I was. The video was delayed.
Oh, okay.
Oh, well.
Oh, you were testing. That's a test.
Yeah.
I know that test.
Yeah, let me tag one more thing in there. So what's really awesome about human beings are we're designed and created to worship something. And you know, even though I believe in the God of the Bible, if somebody else is searching for truth and they don't believe like me, I've been freed from judgment. I don't know if that makes sense. But before
That
I
does.
found the true earth, I used to judge people that didn't think like me. And I was afraid of them. I was afraid of what they carried around in their mind, like it would get on me or something. And ever since I found out that we live on a stationary topographical plane, it doesn't matter what anybody thinks. If they think we were seeded here by aliens, or if they're thinking reincarnation or whatever, none of us are done searching. We're all trying to figure it out, and we should be able to talk about it cordially. So, yeah, y'all just keep crushing. I'm about to have to go do a swim, but it was good to hop on and see y'all's faces, and I'll see you in Vegas.
So you're going to be Swim Texas Bear today.
I was gonna
I'm
say
training for an
swim
Ironman,
some.
Yeah, all right. End it there, man. But that was a huge win for the Flat Earth. Huge one. Huge. Anybody watching that and has a sane mind can see that the globe is losing day by day. It's losing day by day. They are the ones that are looking like flat earthers. You know? The globers are the ones that look like flat earthers. If you know what I mean. It's turning around, man. It's turning around. All right. See you in the next